Years since this club been 11-5. It's just the beginning. Right? It's just the beginning.
First time in 13 years, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are headed to the NFL playoffs.
Player running, have your man back. I got your back. You feel? I take the ground for you. I got your back. I got your back on that. Let's go. Hey, dude, let's get started, man. We turn up. And now, hey, everybody, man, let's have your brothers back, man. Because that's what we playing for. All right? Hey. Bang your brothers on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Next up, playoffs, baby. You coming.
I'm gonna count. Six, folks. All right, here we go. Hit the hit. Oh, wait a minute.
Touchdown, Tampa Bay! Touchdown, Tampa Bay Buccaneers! Let me hear the gun. Let me hear the cannon. Come on.
This play, a lot going on. We'll listen to the call. There's a lot going on.
No, it's Super Bowl or bust. That's the goal every year.
Guess who's back? Evolution. Sports Talk Television live here nightly. All Bucs report. It's the Sports Lab. I'm your host, Jimmy Wood, giving you something to think about on tonight's show. How's that for giving you something to think about? Welcome back to another edition of the Evolution of Sports Talk Television here live from the Deck Bar and Grill in Isla del Sol. It's the Sports Web. I'm your host, Peter Blake. We're less than 2 hours away from every Buck fan's dream. The Bucs host Peter Blake along with Mr. Blake Anthony of Sports Talk 49. We also got Rick Hughes in the building from the cheap seats, of course. What's cooking in the South? We got lots to get to, and we got to start it out with some breaking news. Alex Smith is inactive in this game, so it's all going to fall on the Washington football team's own Tyler Heineke. Heineke, yes. Heineke. And he may need that after this defense gets after him. Of course, all eyes will be on Landover, Maryland tonight as the Bucs will take on the Washington football team. Definitely want to hear from you guys. 727-255-0391 and 727-255-0391. Want to hear your predictions. Who are key players on both sides of the ball that are going to stand out tonight? We'll get all that. We'll also get on Harry the Greek, my professional handicapper. He has lots to talk about. Maybe that line has jumped from where it was now with Alex Smith missing. But Blake Anthony, how you doing tonight, buddy?
Doing good. Waiting for this kickoff to come. Had a couple good games. Well, good game earlier with the Bills and the Colts. That came down to the wire. Literally missed opportunities for the Colts. Probably should have pulled out that game. But we're talking about Bucs football. Can't wait to get started. 8:15 kickoff.
Yeah, 8:15 kickoff. Of course, the Bucs coming off a big-time victory over the Atlanta Falcons, 44-27. We'll have Blake Anthony's winning angle on how to beat the Washington football team. We'll also have his perspective on who this week. Who do you got a perspective on?
Well, I got a perspective on Tristan Wirfs versus both defensive end, Montez Sweat and Chase Young.
I like it. So we'll definitely go to that. And then, again, we'll take your phone calls and read comments from the webheads. We got a webhead out here by the name of Ed. So we got a lot of things to get to. But, again, Alex Smith not playing in this game. Have we heard anything about Mike Evans playing or not?
In.
He's in. So there you go.
Carlton Davis in.
So there you go. Mike Evans in. Carlton Davis in. What do you think, Bucs fans? I tell you what, let's go out to the webheads here and read some of these comments if I can. Welcome to the evolution of Sports Talk Television. It's the Sports Web. I didn't start this out right. I should have started out. Bring your passion. Bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with Blake Anthony of Sports Talk 49. Let's go out to Cornell. Go Bucs playoffs. Milo says, let's go. Nelson says, thumbs up. How did you like that hype video from Liam Mitchell of Bucs Archive? He's killing it, right? If you're not pumped up after that, I don't know what you're not pumped up about, because that's exactly what we do here at Bucs Report. We try to pump you up. Karen says, go boys. Absolutely.
He definitely puts his soul into those videos.
He does. I love it. I absolutely love it. Game Day Baby says, Robert right there. Get him boys, says Joey. Colin says, defense about to step up this week. Go Bucs. Joey says, handle your business. Yep. Mike D. Roche, playoff time. It's on like Donkey Kong. Whoa. Let's go. Rick Hughes says, woohoo. Bonus Bucs football, baby. Absolutely. Rick Hughes in the background. We'll hear from him in a moment. Let's go, baby. Let's go. We can do it. Go Bucs. Pamela says LM. Patrick is saying
FA.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. It's okay. Very nice. Ben Parrish says, let's go. It's our time to shine. Let me go ahead and fire those cannons. You hear that? All right. Good stuff. There you go. We got Joe says, bring that W home, guys. We will be waiting for you to go Bucs. Ethan says, anyone else excited? Bill says, fire them cannons. There we go. We will fire those cannons. Jeremy, Devin White or Shaq Barrett. Devin White's going to be out of this game. Shaq Barrett will play in this game, correct?
That is correct. Correct
so,
stats.
Once again, Mike Evans in. Carlton Davis in. Shaq Barrett in. How do you feel, Bucs fans? 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Alex says, go Bucs, baby. Let's go Bucs, repping from Wisconsin. I love to hear that. Bill says Shaq is in. White is out. And Jeremy, I don't know what he's saying, but we'll go ahead and put that right there.
Oh, that is.
Let's not do all that stuff now.
I think he was saying that because White was out.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I had to do it anyway. And then, and if you troll me tonight, I'm doing that, and I'm also doing this.
Wonder who's going to get it first.
I don't want to do that, and I definitely don't want to hear this tonight. That's crickets.
I think those are birds.
I
Those
think
are
it's too cold. Will you shut up and be
Hey,
quiet
hey.
already? Starting out. I think it's too cold to have crickets outside, honestly. I really do.
Well, they came in.
I guess so. Robert says defense is going to eat this quarterback up. Hubert says Brady must attack. Cornell says, get us hype, Peter. Fire those cannons, and we shall. There we go. Alex says, final score predictions.
We ain't got to that
Absolutely.
yet.
Edward says, go Bucs. I'm eating my steak here at the deck. So there you go. Ed is eating his steak.
Get a pregame meal.
Absolutely. Getting his pregame meal. And so that's the big news. I mean, what's the impact not having an Alex Smith? Of course, BA talked about it this week, how he was 4-1, but actually Alex Smith was 5-1 with the Washington football team. So now you've got a quarterback who's never seen a defense like this, an offensive line that gives up 50 sacks this season, so it's not very good. So you would think that the Bucs definitely have an advantage, but is there some fear there because Heineke doesn't have those tendencies that you can catch up on, Todd Bowles or this defense can catch up on? But you got to feel like there's an advantage here with the Bucs because this kid has never seen postseason play, and it's a totally different animal.
Okay, I'm gonna try to digress this a little bit
Okay.
here. He's a guy. You got to remember he gets to practice against Chase Young and Montez Sweat, so he definitely is going to be ready for the speed of the game going against Shaq Barrett and Jason Pierre-Paul and company. So the speed of the game is an issue. Now it's disguising what you're doing. They have a little bit of tape. I was actually, once that was announced, I was watching tape on him a little bit here. He likes to throw into those seams or those stick routes, and he likes to throw post routes. But when I was looking at the tape of the game, with the snaps he played in the Carolina game, he makes a lot of ill-advised throw, and that's because of not a whole lot of continuity. He had all week to practice, and he's practicing with the first team all week. So he knows the plays. It's just, is he going to be able to make the right reads, or the Bucs going to be able to confuse him? And definitely the key part, can they get pressure on him? Because the kid is mobile. When he doesn't see what he wants, if he doesn't see something he likes, he will take off and run.
Yeah, absolutely. Got to read some more of these comments because somebody just popped on that I'm glad did pop on. Again, Eric Moreno says 28-14. Julio says, good that Alex Smith is not playing. Sitton says, go Bucs. Cornell, Smith must block. Agree with that. Patrick says, I just hope we don't get dink and dunk to death. That's how you beat the Bucs. And I got to read this comment right here, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, my great mother, and the reason why I'm saying this is because she hasn't really seen the show in a long time, got into a major car accident. Thank God she's alive. My agent, my angel right there, watching the best sports talk show in the Tampa Bay area, the Sports Web with Bucs Report. Let's go, Bucs. Win hands down. We got this. Love to hear that. Let me go ahead and fire those cannons for her. Love you, Mom. And the truck is more damaged than she is. Let's just say that. She's a tough one. Really is. Mike says, don't let this fresh-faced quarterback beat us. Roger Shue says, go Washington football team. Sorry, Bucs fans, and sorry about your luck. But you are a troll, that's for sure. The pundits know Brady equals ratings. They are creating a possible close. Get the hell out of here. Barely 7-win team. No offense. Heineke or Brady. Come on, man. Blowout. We need this too bad. Julio says Tom Brady will throw for 400 yards, throw for 5 touchdowns. And Rob says 36-13. That's been the main story this week. Of course, the comments by Chase Young saying he wants Tom Brady. He's not backing down. He's the greatest of all time. There's a reason. And that's kind of the matchup you're kind of looking at this point. You've been very critical, as you should have been, with Donovan Smith early on in the year throughout his career. He's really got a tough matchup tonight versus a Young. Can he handle that matchup, in your opinion? Or are you going to see Chase Young take over this game, even with the 7.5 sacks, 4 forced fumbles, 3 fumble recoveries? This is a very tough matchup. Can Smith handle it himself, or would you expect a Rob Gronkowski to basically help him out on that left side?
What you're going to do, what you're going to have to do, you can't run that every play. Donovan Smith is a pro player. He's eventually going to have to hold his own in one-on-ones at some points in this game when they need to go vertical, because having Rob or a running back staying back there every down, watching that, you're limiting your offense. I mean, everybody knows once the Bucs go up enough in this game, Washington to this point, they looked like they didn't have enough firepower to catch up with them, which is still possible if they play the game that they need to play. But we're talking about Donovan Smith here. He's going to have to do his job today. It's playoff football. All can be forgiven for all season if he comes through in the playoffs and does the job he needs to do. But do look forward to seeing on plays where Rob Gronkowski chips, what I noticed, Montez Sweat gives up on plays when he sees a chip coming. He doesn't get upfield as much. Now, Chase Young, what makes him so special is that he doesn't give up, man. He has a relentless motor, and he finds ways to either get in the passing lane by jumping and putting his hands up or finding any type of angle to get back to the quarterback. But the way to beat them is to keep them on the field for long drives, so you take the gas out of them and run play actions to Chase Young's side so he doesn't run you down when you run it the other way, and run the ball. I know, Peter, you said this all year about running ball.
All year long. Let's say it
This is the
together.
game.
Ready? The victim of volume in a Ronald Jones is definitely going to have to be the catalyst of this offense tonight. Of course, came up short, 22 yards short of 1,000 yards. But his explosive nature when you get him out into space. And I feel like if the Bucs decide to commit to this running game, it really makes this offense even more potent.
That takes the load off of Donovan Smith pass blocking. If he's able to get there and just lay the body on Chase Young down after down after down, you don't have to worry about him getting beat pass blocking. But Donovan Smith, all eyes will be looking at him today.
I'll tell you what, let's hear from Tom Brady and what his thoughts are on a Chase Young here on the Sports Web, live from the Deck Bar and Grill in Isla del Sol. Enjoy.
You know, he's obviously a great young player. So, we got our hands full with that D-line, one of the best D-lines in the league. So, Chase is a great young player. Went to Ohio State, so naturally I think the Ohio State-Michigan thing wears off on him a little bit. I understand that. But we're prepared for, a tough challenge. And should be a fun game.
All right, welcome back to the evolution of Sports Talk Television. It's the Sports Web. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with Blake Anthony. What are you guys showing me there? What is that?
I was saying the speakers.
Oh, the speakers? Oh, right there? We don't have them hooked up yet.
Okay.
So we're going to let them watch their game, and then we'll hook it up here eventually. So, we got the PA system. That's what we got here on the Sports Web. We got cameras. We got lights. We got us. We got Rick Hughes. We got web heads in the back. We got Bucs fans ready. Are you ready to see this team perform tonight? Can they come out? And, of course, Brady so graciously said, it's an Ohio State-Michigan thing. He's a very talented player. This Washington football team, they come into this game with 47 sacks. They really get after it, and you do more research on them. They're very good against the pass. This is a tougher matchup than a lot of people expect. Even though they're 7-9, this was a team that couldn't find their quarterback, necessarily couldn't find an identity with a Dwayne Haskins, and that's basically why he's not with this team anymore. With an Alex Smith, they did, but Smith is not playing tonight. So we'll see what happens, but still, talk about this defense a little bit.
Well, first and foremost, who's leading the ship?
Right,
Ron Rivera. With that alone that being said, he's the guy that needed to revamp this organization after all the defragment that's happened from coaching staff to owners.
Gone through cancer, the organization themselves going through all the sexual allegations. It's kind of amazing to see them there, and I get it. It's a pitiful division. But we've seen this before, and I know people have kind of talked about this. Seattle, 10 years ago, defeated a New Orleans Saints team, which was 11-5. Of course,
Beastquake.
Right, exactly, exactly. So it's certainly possible, and in fact, teams that are under 500 in playoff history are 2-0. So Tom Brady, this Bucs offense that has been red hot lately, is really having their hands full tonight with this Washington front four and this defense overall.
Yeah, Ron's going to gamble, as you know. Riverboat Ron, he's going to gamble in this game. He's going to take chances. I mean, what do they got to lose? They're 7-9. They squeaked into the playoffs, won the division. They got nothing to lose. The Bucs are the ones with everything on the table. If they lose to the Washington football team, they're the ones that's going to look bad in the limelight. Nobody picked Washington to win from the beginning, so they're going to play. They're going to throw everything but even the kitchen sink at them coming out here. So do not expect – expect everything in this game because trickery, the quarterback getting out there and getting outside the pocket, making plays with his legs, running back screens, double passes. I don't put anything past this offense, especially playing with the third string quarterback, if you want to call it now.
Well, I mean, they're not a good offense, but they do definitely have some weapons there. You have an Antonio Gibson who averaged 5 yards a carry. He's coming in with a turf toe.
That was my boy coming out the draft.
Absolutely, I know it was. You like him a lot. You got a Terry McLaurin out of Ohio State, who's definitely shown out this year with over 80 catches. And you also have a J.D. McKissick as a running back who had 80 catches, and Logan Thomas, who Bruce Arians, I think, is somewhat familiar with, who used to be a quarterback in this league. So Logan Thomas, 72 catches. McKissick, 80 catches. McLaurin, 87 catches.
A lot of
So
catches.
they have some weapons there, but it's not an offense that's necessarily going to go down the
It's
field.
not a vertical offense.
And this defense on the Bucs side, look, they give up 69% completion percentage to quarterbacks in the NFL, but it's all in front of them. You don't see a lot of big plays, albeit, the Kansas City Chiefs with Tyreek Hill, but again, that's an anomaly, Leo Ward. So that's what makes them so good, and it's going to be a tough matchup to me for this Bucs offense. All eyes are going to be on this offense, and especially this offensive line. Montez Sweat, we haven't even talked about him yet. He leads the team with 9 sacks. He's going against Tristan Wirfs, and Wirfs has been unbelievable this year.
Absolutely been not Lace talked about. He's clearly shown he's the best lineman in the past draft. So he's faced against Montez Sweat before in college in the Outback Bowl here in Tampa, actually. Mississippi State versus Iowa, and he fared well. Sweat gave him a little bit of business, but his game has been the same, but it changed a little bit coming from college to pros. But Montez Sweat is a tight end, switched to defensive end. I guess if many of you did not know that, uses his long arms a lot. He's still learning how to play the spot, and he relies a lot on his athletic ability. But Tom Brady's not going to really run out the pocket, and Tristan Wirfs is a lot bigger and stronger than he was back in college and a lot more knowledgeable, and has played against guys that are better than Montez Sweat this season, in my opinion. So I think he should fare well, and I would run at him a lot this game and have Tristan Wirfs lay the lumber on him.
Now, Harry the Greek, our professional handicapper, believes that this is the best defensive line that the Bucs have faced. Do you agree with that? Is that more based on potential with a Daron Payne, who is basically a first-round pick, a Jonathan Allen, a Sweat,
first-round picks.
Chase Young?
Yeah.
I mean, is this the
And
best
even
best defense they've faced in a while?
That would be discrediting the New Orleans Saints,
right?
With all that talent on there, and then the emergence of Trey Hendrickson, that was like 5th in the league in sacks. So plus the bench, Sheldon Rankins, and many others they got on that Saints front. But I would say this is the youngest. I would give them that. This is the youngest, and they could very well be. I would say I would give them a top 5 up there, maybe even the top 3 as far as pass rush talent that they got on this team and the depth. I would put them up there, but I wouldn't say it's the best that the Bucs have played against this year because the Saints have given them problems.
Let me ask you, is it better than Tampa Bay's defensive front, in your opinion?
Is it better than theirs?
Yeah.
I would say they're more consistent.
Okay.
That would be a fair assessment. They're more consistent than our guys because there's been times in the game where these guys haven't gotten pressure, even with Shaq Barrett and Jason Pierre-Paul. I know a lot of people were worried about Shaq Barrett this season, not getting a lot of sacks. But these guys have gotten pressures all season. Since you said, 47 or 49 sacks all year? Proof is in the pudding. So,
47 sacks for the entire year. They are 3rd in the NFL against the pass. So, again, that's kind of the matchup you're looking at. And it always starts with Tom Brady, 40 touchdowns, 43 total touchdowns, another 4. This offense has been in 3rd gear. I mean, everything has been clicking with this offense, and it comes down to Mike Evans breaking the record last week. He goes out. Antonio Brown steps up with 100 yards receiving. Chris Godwin steps up with 100 yards receiving. How surprised are you with Brady's play? And is it kind of amazing what he's doing at 43 years old? I mean, 40 touchdowns. This is his 2nd greatest performance in all of his career. The last time he had as many touchdowns, 50 touchdowns in 2007. Consequently, that was an undefeated team that lost to the Giants. And some people trying to kind of correlate the Washington football team with that New York Giants defense. They kind of do some of the same things, but I don't think they're as good as the Giants defense.
No, you had so many studs on that team. You had guys on the bench that could have started on any NFL roster, and that pretty much tells you the depth of that team. Even at the time, you had a rookie, Jason Pierre-Paul, on that line as well. People forget he was there as well, part of that took It's just Justin Tuck took pretty much the limelight in that game because he was a young and upcoming stars with Matthias Kiwanuka and all those guys. I don't think there's been a deeper rotation on the defensive line. Yeah, I see that he got hit in the neck.
Who was that?
That's a quarterback for the Rams.
Oh, really? That was their rookie.
Yeah.
So they're leading right now 20-10 over Seattle without their rookie quarterback. Wolford just got
you
completely crushed.
You don't want to see that.
No,
I don't care.
And it was a bad hit too. It was a bad hit. It really was. So it looked like it was helmet to helmet to me. But
that is, I already know what happened. His neck got pushed down from the defender coming in.
Right.
I don't know if I wouldn't say per se he really tried to hurt him, but and sometimes it's just unfortunate it happens like that. It reminds me of that hit reminds me of Ryan Shazier, just a routine tackle. He stuck his head out, and his neck got whipped. I just hate to see that for anybody. As immediately I think about his life and his future.
Absolutely. Let's go back out to the webheads here. Tom Brady would throw for 400 yards and 5 touchdowns. Do you agree with that?
I hope not. I would rather see them run the ball, and he has to do as least work as possible, and they come out and get a victory.
Is that the game plan that the Bucs should focus on when you're running a victim of volume in a Ronald Jones or a Leonard Fournette or even possibly a Keyshawn Vaughn? We're not sure if he's inactive or active or not, but we know Shady is not going to play in this game because of Dayon Buchanan being brought up because of Devin White being out. Is that the game plan that you think they should go with at first to wear this Washington football team's defensive line out to keep them on the field so basically they're not able to rush after the quarterback? Because to me, if you get into that pattern of being one-dimensional, then basically you're asking for it.
You're predictable at that point. And then you're putting your quarterback at risk. I keep throwing over. If you're throwing for 400 yards, that means you're throwing at least 30, 35 times a game, and you're putting Tom Brady at 35 risk to getting hit in the game or making an error throw. I mean, for once, this is playoffs. You got to establish the damn running the ball finally. Couldn't do it all year consistently. Can you do it now in the playoffs? Give Tom Brady a break. I said he did what he needed to do. They went 4-0 the last quarter of the season.
Yeah,
they got him in, got the 5th seed, overcame all that adversity, all the naysayers, all of that they had all year long. He overcame it and came up strong at the end like you're supposed to. It ain't how you start, it's how you finish. And he definitely finished strong coming into the playoffs. But it's time for that running game to show up. I don't give a damn who it is. If it's victim of volume, Ronald Jones, Leonard Fournette, Keyshawn Vaughn, the run game's finally got to happen. It's playoffs. Take Chase Young, take Montez Sweat, take all those guys out the game by exerting your dominance on the line of scrimmage and putting those guys on their ass and doing it for 4 quarters.
Now, we talked about the outside guys in a Sweat and, of course, a Chase Young, but also the interior guys and a Jonathan Allen, of course, a Deron Payne being out of Alabama, big guys there, and you also have a Tim Settle. So even more so, the interior line pressure, we've seen that pressure get to Brady in the past. So Ali Marpet, Ryan Jensen, and, of course, and Alex Kappa are definitely going to have big games tonight because when they push that penetration, that frees it up for those outside guys, right?
Correct. And then Tom Brady, and that's a key part because Tom Brady is not running.
Right.
Not unless he has
to.
And he's
you
definitely
don't
not
want
outrun.
him to run.
And
you don't.
And is he going to outrun Chase Young and Montez Sweat? No. So the interior is important. It's just like Drew Brees. They stand in the pocket. The front pocket collapses. He can't step forward to make the throws. You got to throw off your back foot.
Right.
You got to make error throws, and that's how balls get elevated a little more than they should. You don't have the velocity on the ball that you need. So, yeah, I mean, if they got to stop that interior pressure, so that's why I said Donovan Smith and those guys on the edge are going to have to earn their check this week.
Absolutely. Let's go back out to the webheads here. Rob Big Panzin Malpica says 36-13 Bucs. There we go. 34-21 Bucs. Let me go ahead and fire those cannons for you guys.
It's not a bad score.
Yep, I like it. Christopher Cole, no tape on that quarterback. You know our record against new quarterbacks. I mean, does he bring up a great point? I mean, there is some tape on him. There's not a lot of tape. I think it favors the Tampa Bay Buccaneer defense, not only because of this offensive line being absolutely atrocious. I mean, 50 sacks, 32nd offense in the NFL, so it's not a good offense. They're very pedestrian. They have some weapons, but nothing to write home about, nothing that compares. And then you have a quarterback that basically is limited in what he can do because he doesn't have that postseason experience. That should favor this Bucs defense. And then furthermore, getting back a Shaq Barrett, you take the pressure off of JPP, you get Carlton Davis back, you take the pressure off of Sean Murphy-Bunting and the Jamel Dean. So you're basically getting everybody back at the right time.
Absolutely. And there's no way these guys were going to miss that game, period. If he was missing a toe or a finger, they were going to play this game. And Mike Evans, when I saw the hyperextension of the knee, I said, immediately I told you I've had that injury. I said, he can play. I said, especially he didn't get any major swelling and everything. So I expect him to do what he's going to do, especially in the red zone if they want to save him in the offense and just go to him in the, a jump ball situation, which I think will be great for him. Mm-hmm. But Antonio Brown is the guy I think is going to really show out this game, and it would really help out Mike Evans to give him an extra week to rest and not have to perform to be the X factor in the game, because definitely Brown I'm picking to be the X factor in this game. Now, if you're talking about the Washington offense, I expect them to go vertical on the Buccaneers. I think Ron Rivera, he's a gambler. And what I've known the years when playing against him in Carolina, he'll swing it a little bit. And I think he's going to try to get the quarterback into rhythm. He's going to try to get him on the move with some open boots, some motions and things like that. And he's going to try to go vertical a little bit here. So I think Todd Bowles should come after him and get him rattled early in the game rather than let him settle, get comfortable, start to get the rhythm, and then, if opportunity happens, make a play or whatever it is, then you build in confidence. I would rather them take that away from them from the very start and not give them any type of momentum, because that's all they're looking for with this guy. Hey, look, their teammates on offense are going, hey, look, you're doing great. You're completing passes. We're giving you time to throw. Just be confident. You don't want that. I said we want Tampa Bay to enforce their will, beat down on them, talk smack to them. You want to get them out of that game. You want to get up on them early and force them to be one-dimensional, because as you said, the offensive line is atrocious.
50 sacks.
They can't be a passing offense. No. That's what you want them to be.
And I feel like that defense is going to blitz a lot because of that aspect and because of this quarterback not having the experience in the postseason, not even having the game experience. I mean, how many games has he started during the regular season? I think his last start was 2018, and that was at the end of the season.
He played was a couple quarters in the Panther game, but otherwise than that, it's not much. So I agree with you. You run that 3 tight end set, blitz them. I said none of their tight ends are going to outrun you. You guys are more athletic than they are. Logan, he's going to try to force the ball to Logan Thomas, of course. You take that away. You don't let anything over your head. He's got to make the perfect throw to beat you, and you live with that. Yeah. You just because he's going to make some errant, ill-advised throws, and here's the key part. I said on my keys to the victory: two turnovers wins you this game. You get 2 turnovers, it's over. You get 2 turnovers,
and that's what Washington's defense is hoping for, and that's what you hear from the national pundits. You hope that a Chase Young, who causes some fumbles, and Montez Sweat calls some fumbles, because if you don't take care of the ball, then you give that offense those opportunities in a short field, and that's where you can score some points. But if the Bucs take care of the ball, they do their jobs, and they protect Brady. Brady can pick this team apart. He can. They have the weapons to do it. Going back to Mike Evans, are you surprised that he played in this game? I know you said that you would expect him to, but do you fault the decision by the Bucs organization to play him? Should they have given him some rest, or you're okay with him playing in this game versus the Washington football team?
Everybody at this point is playing some way, somehow hurt.
Okay.
And it's like a devil's advocate on this.
Yeah.
Okay, you sit Mike Evans and you lose this game. What's the first thing you're going to talk about?
They should have played Mike Evans.
So what the hell are you sitting him for?
Right. Well, what you're worried about is him messing up the knee.
I think he'll tell you if it's hurting that bad, and he'll come out.
Right.
And you'll put somebody else in there. I don't think he's going to play on it where his leg is to the point where he can't run anymore. I think you get him in and out of there. You get the leg warmed up because it's cold out there. You want to get him warmed up, get him the ball early, get him warmed up. But there's no point in sitting him. You're just playing in a playoff game. There's no resting people.
No.
You play to win this game.
Yes. You play to win.
So you're going to sit Mike Evans to say next week you should have played him? That's the stupidest logic.
Well, I got to tell you right now, what are we talking about? We're talking about
playoffs.
Yeah.
We're talking about playoffs.
We are, Jim.
You kidding me?
We're Jim.
Playoffs.
We're talking about it. Colts, maybe not so much, as they lose to the Buffalo Bills today, 27-24. I agree with you on that.
Won that game.
Open phone lines. What do you want to talk about tonight? You want to talk about your Tampa Bay Buccaneers, or you want to talk about something else? I don't get it. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. It's the Sports Web, live from the Deck Bar and Grill in Isla de Sol. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with Blake Anthony at Sports Talk 49. Which can be seen and heard here on Bucs Report Monday and Fridays at 3 o'clock with your breakdowns. Let's go back out to the webheads here. Read these comments from these guys, and then we'll get to the winning angle by you. Let's go. We need perfection for 4 more games. Mike says, contain Chase Young. Protect Brady. Cornell would love to see Rojo run Chase Young over. 14-32 Bucs. I think he meant 32-14. Ask, and you shall receive. Let's go ahead and lead off the Sports Web, Mr. Johnny Dean, the professor. Welcome to the Evolution. You're on with yours truly, along with Mr. Blake Anthony of Sports Talk 49. What do you have to say, my friend?
I want to respond to Blake Anthony. One little tiny thing he just said.
I can hardly hear him.
Yeah, hold on. Turn up your volume a little bit there, my friend.
It's all the way up, bro.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, Blake, I agree with everything you said except for one thing. Mike Evans ain't pulling himself out of no playoff game, man.
I agree. I'm just saying the other intangible. He said the team, not Mike Evans.
Right.
Of course Mike Evans is going to play.
I mean, it may be
I
Mike
thought you
Evans.
said if he started feeling hurt, he'd pull himself out.
Right.
How many wide receivers or tight ends have you ever seen pull themselves out of the game? They have to be yanked off that field.
Right, exactly. Exactly. I agree with that. I agree. But I will say there are some fans that wanted him to rest, and I can understand it. I can understand because he is so valuable to you, and because the replay of that injury looked so bad last week. It looked bad. It looked really bad.
Yeah, I don't see him resting because, for one thing, I don't think they're going to use him the same exact way. They're not going to have him out there running sharp routes. They're going to have him in the end zone, in the red zone.
That's what I think too.
I see him just using him as a red zone target, and they're not going to have him doing those sharp routes. Sharp routes is where you're going to hurt your legs. You know, they'll run him down the field and on the outside, and you have to cover him. I don't care. Remember the playoff game where Gronk was out there hobbled, limping on one leg?
Yeah.
He still, even though people knew that he wasn't going to get the ball, they still had to double cover him.
Right.
So that's going to be the same thing as they do with Mike Evans. And if they loosen up and Evans is in the end zone, boom, there you go.
Yeah. I mean, who do you think are your primetime players that are going to step up tonight on each side of the ball, offensively and defensively, Johnny Dean?
I think the entire team has to step up. I don't think it's going to be
come on now. Let's not be political about this. Give me a couple of players here, Johnny Dean. Humor me here.
It has to be all of them. How many times this year have we seen any one specific player just step up? It's been different people every week that stepped up, and the team stepped up. If the team don't step up this week, if it's just one player, you kind of lost.
Why not even ask him a question for? He just dissects it just like that. Just dissects it. All right, I'll give it to you. I'll let you have the answer there. I'll give him that. I was ready to buzz him, honestly. I really was. But he makes lots of sense. You're exactly right. This whole team has to step up. Is there any fear, in your opinion, about this Washington football team coming into the game? 47 sacks, third against the pass, 11th versus the run. This is a tough matchup for the Tampa Bay Buccaneer offense, right?
I don't see it being a tough matchup, honestly. I really don't.
Okay.
Everybody's talking about their defense, but the Tampa Bay offense is fourth in pass protection.
Yeah.
You know, they keep Brady clean. So it's going to be a good matchup on that line. But we've already faced Aaron Donald, man.
Yep.
We've already done that. Been
sure.
There.
Yep. You already faced Khalil Mack and a Robert Quinn, and looks like that's good right there. So it's 20-13 right now. Rams over Seattle in Seattle. So pretty good game. We're watching it while we're doing this. You're exactly right. On this line, especially a Tristan Wirfs, who's been out of his mind, and anybody thought that he was just going to give up one sack for the whole year.
Nobody thought that.
It's been amazing for him. He should be an All-Pro. He should be in the Pro Bowl, but none of those things have happened, and I feel very confident with the sweat on that side that Wirfs is going to be able to handle that matchup. And if Chase Young does go on that right side, I also feel like Wirfs can handle it. We'll go to Blake Anthony's breakdown here in just a little bit of that, because very interesting footage on who really won that matchup. Go ahead, Johnny Dean.
All right, guys. I got to go. I got another call coming in.
All right, man. Give me a prediction really quick.
41 to 20.
41-20. All right, good stuff, Johnny Dean. There you go. Let me go ahead and fire those cannons right there. Open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. It's the Sports Web. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with Blake Anthony of Sports Talk 49. Let's go out back to the webheads here, see what they have to say. Protect Brady. Of course, Cornell would love to see Rojo run Chase Young over. You don't see that happening, right?
And the other part, he's not going to be running left with that hand.
Right.
We talked about that. You put that hand in the ball in that hand, he's going to get poked out.
NFC Lee says Cornell. Julio says if Chase Young gets shut down, then those comments that he said that he wasn't going to go back up on his message to Tom Brady, the offensive line, he's going to regret his message that he sent. Do you feel like you heard from Ron Rivera during the week? He said it is going to be bulletin board material, but that's just Chase Young. Would you prefer him? Right, I could see it. Thank you. Would you prefer, and I get it. He's a young guy coming in as a rookie. He's played very impressively for the Washington football team. He's definitely going to be up for Rookie of the Year, if not Antoine Winfield for the Bucs. Do you have a problem with him making those comments, or too much of a big deal has been made about them?
I mean, I don't really Honestly, I don't really care. I'm sure there's a lot of things people say into the game in games that you guys don't see or hear, or hear for that matter. Like I think you guys talked about it on your show before. He's just they know they play the Bucs if they won that game, and he already knew that. And he wants to play the best. He wants to play the best quarterback in the league as he's the leader of that defense, and he's yelling and coming off the field, celebrating with his teammates. I mean, I don't really care that much per se. This team needs to focus on their business and not really just focus on Chase Young, because at the end of the day, you handle your business. Everything Chase Young says is ill-advised and kind of goes back on him.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so let's go out to Julio here. Chase will probably have 1 or 2 sacks. I'm pretty sure that Chase Young will get shut down if he picks
absolutely
right against Tristan Wirfs.
Already been done.
Antonio Brown will finish with 145 yards and 2 touchdowns. Is that the matchup right there? I mean, let's look at this matchup a little bit more. Kendall Fuller on one side, Ronald Darby on the other. Pretty good corners here. We talked about it, 3rd in the NFL with passing defense. But once again, it's all predicated on the pressure up front from a Young, from, of course, a Montez Sweat, from a Payne, and of course, a Jonathan Allen.
Any of the Fuller boys have played good in the league, and he's just one of them. So their success is predicated on the front 4. We already know that they're going to rush 4 and put 7 in coverage. I mean, that's why you got to protect. You got to protect it and not throw air throws, because those guys will make plays on the ball and get interceptions and things like that. That's why it's so important on protection. But the Bucs have seen this before. Rush 4 and they leave 7 in coverage. So I'm sure Byron Leftwich has a good offensive game plan, expecting to run screens early, get everything in motion, get them off balance, mix up the way things look, pass when it looks like it's going to be a run when it's going to look like a pass. That's how you slow down pass rushers like that, and you'll get your opportunities to take shots downfield by confusing the defense and things like that.
All right, let's go. Living for Kendrick says, who dat? I guess he's on the wrong channel there, but you could be Saints fan, I guess. Got to watch the RPO. Bill says the Rams defensive line isn't no joke. Agree with that. Rick says Young is not even their best pass rusher. Agree with that. Julio says they should throw first and play a little play action, then run the ball, but I don't think Tampa will run for 110 yards. Brady will run for a 1-yard touchdown. He's done that this year. We've seen that.
That's quite possible.
Yep. Bucs have given up the 4th fewest sacks this season. What is it, 22 sacks or 21 sacks this year overall? Nice RE320s. Thank you. I appreciate that. Should the Buccaneers draft a quarterback to do what the Saints do with Hill and Breeze when they need a special play? Blake?
I mean, I don't know.
Drafting a quarterback.
I don't know why we're
talking about.
I don't know. I don't want to insult Julio by answering it that way.
Talk about it. Julio wants to talk about it. What do you think? Is it an idea? To me, I think they're going to draft a quarterback eventually. I'm not sure.
This is a draft to do it. There's at least 10 in this draft.
Maybe it is this year, or maybe it is next year. But you certainly think, and from the comments of Tom Brady, that he's going to play next year. Certainly looks like he's going to.
He said from the beginning he played at 45, and now if he plays longer, we don't know, because right now he looks healthy.
There's no rush, but I understand what he's saying. Add another facet to your offense with getting a Taysom Hill, somebody that's mobile. But I don't think you need that with a Tom Brady.
Yeah, well, we talked about this pre-draft. Luckily, we're not talking about that already at this time of year. You get a player I used to call a little joker player, a guy that you can use for stuff like that. The Bucs don't have a guy like that. Yes, it's great if you can find a guy like that you can use for everything, a utility knife. That's why it's good to have versatility on offense. So if there's a guy that you can get undrafted, or if you're going to spend a draft, because I don't see you spending a high draft pick on a guy that you're just going to use as a utility guy. Yeah. If you can get him that's undrafted, or get him for somebody's trying to clear cap space, by all means, grab him. But just to say to draft one high just to have it, I don't agree with that. But yes, I do agree with having a player on the roster, and they don't have that. Like if you want to run a short yardage situation or a goal line, you can run an RPO with a guy because he has wheels and he can throw. So I agree with Julio. I mean, having that, but at this point, it's irrelevant. They are what they are right now.
I agree. Let's go out to Christopher Cole. Don't lose, contain. So are they going to win the Super Bowl? I've been on this train. I've said it from the very beginning.
What train is that, Peter?
At the beginning. Super Bowl or bust. They are going to win the Super Bowl. They will be the first team in NFL history to win it at Raymond James Stadium in their house.
Soul Train.
Now will you shut up and be quiet? Let's go out to Todd. Todd, welcome to the Evolution. You're on with yours truly, along with Blake Anthony at Sports Talk 49. What do you have to say about this game tonight? Bucs versus the Washington football team.
Hey, Peter. Hey, Blake.
Hey.
How y'all doing tonight?
Doing great, buddy. How you doing?
Well, I'm getting excited and I'm nervous. So
Okay.
Uh-oh.
What are you nervous about besides the fact of the Bucs finally playing in a playoff game against a tough defense? What makes you the most nervous about this matchup, Todd?
Well, the defense.
Okay.
And the cold weather a little bit.
Okay.
You know, we've never been a cold weather football team. We've never played good in cold weather.
That's true. Now, I will give you a case of where, and I don't know why that just popped up. That's weird. Okay. Wow. Did we lose power here?
Good thing we got lights.
I guess we lost power. I don't know what's going on. Okay, there we go. So, yeah, that was weird. We got you there, Todd?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
yes, sir.
I will go back to the case of going to Philadelphia and winning in cold weather. Okay, and you won that game there. So they've been able to win games in the cold, and that's why it's so important that you have a running game, because a running game and defense travels, especially when it's cold. And you may face the Packers in the second round, although the Rams doing their thing right now versus Seattle. So we'll see what happens, but you may have some inclement weather, if you will, coming up here in the next couple of weeks, and that's why it's so important to have a running game in the defense.
Well, I have to agree with Blake a while ago. I know I told you last night.
Sure.
The victim of volume, Ronald Jones,
yes,
is absolutely a key player. But I also agree with Blake that Antonio Brown, I think, is going to be the guy that's going to step up for us tonight as well.
Todd, how impressed are you with Brown and his play? I mean, he's been tremendous. Everything that we talked about in the offseason, and even when he got picked up was the character issues. How impressed are you with Brown and what he's done for this team in his short time with it?
He has done absolutely phenomenal.
Okay.
He's been great for our team, for our organization. He's been great off the field, and I think that you have to give Tom Brady a lot of credit.
Sure.
Because Tom Brady, he's living with Tom Brady, and I know he looks up to Tom. And but Antonio's been outstanding, just outstanding.
Okay. All right. Good stuff here. So give me a prediction on the score. Once again, I think he gave it last night, but give it again here in case somebody forgot it. Refresh my memory. Who do you think wins and why?
I said 35-10. I think our defense is going to step up tonight.
Okay.
I think I said last night, I think Brady's going to throw 3 touchdowns.
Oh, wow.
And I think Ronald Jones gets a couple touchdowns tonight. So,
all right, say it, Todd. Got to say it again. Say it.
Victim of volume.
That's what I'm talking about, Todd. One of my favorite webheads right there. Let me go ahead and fire those cannons for you. Thanks a lot for the call.
All right, guys. Let's get a win tonight.
Absolutely. We'll see you on the post-game edition right there. Let's go back out to the webheads here, read these more comments. I don't think Evans should push it. It's not going to be easy to get him off the field, though. Tom says when Brady gets sacked 3+ times in the regular season, the Bucs were 1-4. Keep Brady upright and drag the Washington football team into a shootout. They can't keep up with it. It's a wrap. And exactly that's why it's so important. And we keep on talking about it. And the Bucs have shown it, getting off to a fast start, because if you get off to a fast start, say 13-0 or even 21-0,
that puts them in a bind.
Good night, because their offense is not designed to come back. What you want to do is you want to have 3 and outs. If you're a Washington football team here, you want to have those 3 and outs. You want to have a quick turnover or a fumble or something. You want to keep this game close. If the Bucs put the pedal to the metal like they've been doing the last couple games, it's a wrap, even with the defense, because their defense will get wore out.
What I really like what they did last week is they were really tricky with their offense. They threw screens in there. You kept the defense off balance, and I expect them to do the same exact thing come out to the start of this game. Just don't come out here and just do a casual old handoff here, casual over handoff there. Hope we get in the 3rd and short. Washington's expecting you to pass, and then you get off the field on a 3 and out. Don't do that.
Yeah.
It's like get that first down, get some type of momentum going. Run some play actions. Do so, don't be too tricky, but just be effective at what you're doing and try to run some good plays that that's going to get people open.
Yeah.
That way you can get these completions going and get some points on the board.
Oh, look at this! Wow, he just missed them there. DK Metcalf wide open. Congratulations on your bet. The DOS, I guess, is saying. I don't know what that is. Milo says Washington gives up 112 yards a game on the ground. They're vulnerable to the run as long as the Bucs stay committed.
Built the pass rush.
Absolutely. And Weezy says, let's go Bucs. And Milo says, and let's be honest, Washington's capacity looks better statistically than they really are. They had Carson Wentz, Daniel Jones, and third or fourth string quarterbacks with the Cowboys. Is that fair? They still played some teams. Look, they beat the Pittsburgh Steelers early on. Actually later on, a couple weeks ago. And that team at the time was 11-0. So it's not like they're a slouch, but I definitely think the Bucs can handle it. Should the Buccaneers sign Earl Thomas to help that secondary, which has struggled against teams that sling the ball down the field? No, right?
Let me read that second. That Thomas to help that secondary, which struggled against teams. Who's slaying the ball? Oh, there's only one game that's happened. That was the Chiefs, and that was just dumb coverage. You can't run Carlton Davis, probably your slowest corner, and man coverage on Tyreek Hill. You did something stupid and you got burned for it. That's what happened.
Yep, agree. Absolutely agree. All right, Aaron Donald just went down. We saw it.
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
Was grabbing his ribs. That's not a good injury. In fact, my mom was tuning in before. She had broken ribs in that truck accident going 70 miles an hour.
Took the hit, kept on going.
She does. She's watching the Sports Web right now. I tell you what, let's go out to Tom Brady and his comments and the significance of playing in his first wild card game for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers here on the Evolution Sports Talk Television. Enjoy.
So every week is getting, a little bit better and a little bit more consistent and, better communication. And we're all understanding each other a little bit better each week. So, football season's tough. There's a lot of things to coordinate. There's a lot of moving parts. Different players are in and out. You're running different schemes. But I think we just tried to, not take the foot off the gas pedal. Just try to understand each other a little bit better each week and try to put ourselves in a decent position. And anytime you make the playoffs, it's a good feeling and it's a great opportunity to be playing this weekend. A privilege, I think, for all of us. And I think we want to go make the most of it. So, playoff football is pretty special to be a part of. And, I'll be excited out there Saturday night.
And you can see that gleam in his eye. He's been there before, and that is the biggest reason why you have to be excited about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Welcome back to the Evolution of Sports Talk Television, live from the Deck Bar and Grill in East Little. So it's the Sports Web. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with Blake Anthony at Sports Talk 49. We'll have Rick Hughes here. I think we'll start him off at 7 o'clock. We're going to get some of your perspectives on. We'll kind of rotate around. Just work with me here, webheads. Again, open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. So I got to ask you, how impressed are you with this offense lately? I mean, they're 7-5. We talked about it. The schedule favored them running the table. Of course, they get down to Atlanta 17-0. And as Mr. Hughes said, that's when it seemed like this Bucs team really flipped that switch.
He said it was at that moment.
Yep.
The Bucs knew.
Yep.
They had to click it on.
They had to turn it on. I feel like it's a 30 for 30 moment. Make it 30 for 30.
It was. It was that moment.
That dramatic.
That dramatic.
And I remember we were on the halftime show, and I said,
yeah, we looked at it. I don't think we did that all year. We looked at each other and said,
I don't know.
Peter looked right at me and said, what do you got? I
don't know. I got nothing.
I got nothing. What you got?
My dad used to say that. You got nothing. I mean, the Bucs had nothing that
Peter
day
held
in
the
the
paper
first
and was
half.
like, I don't know what to say.
I mean, there's no stats. You got 60 yards of total offense, and then after that, 31 to 10 run.
And we don't usually take calls at half, so I was going to say just let it run through the calls. But I was like, that was the worst halftime ever, and I'm just glad that they had a better game plan than we had at halftime.
Well, we absolutely blasted them. I mean, we talked about how bad they were, and they were bad. 60 total yards of offense. So what gives? Was it a halftime speech? Was it the fact
they said it wasn't even that?
Look, it's this important. Tom Brady's getting comfortable. It goes back to Leo Haggerty a couple weeks ago asking Coach BA, it's like your week 7, week 8, game here. You guys are starting to finally get comfortable, and even the coach agreed. So those 400 missed rep opportunities in the offseason, of course, missing the preseason, missing your training camp, really affected them with the new offense. So could it be the Bucs at the right time are getting hot?
Well, first off, has that officially been killed now that preseason don't matter?
Well, I think we definitely
has that officially been killed?
I'm a preseason fan now. I love preseason.
So everybody
6 games like they used to have in the 70s.
So everybody finally understands why you have off season and preseason. Okay,
right.
So I'm glad that that's out there. First off, and I think I pointed that out in my Antonio big game breakdown. I ran 2 plays that they ran week 1 and he ran in week 17. I said, look at the difference.
Yeah,
big yards on one and an incompletion on the other. off of continuity and run and getting familiar with each other and being more comfortable in the offense later on in the season. So you are seeing them get hot. And I know everybody was hooting and hollering about play call and everything. That's why I kept saying it's execution is the only difference.
Yeah.
You're running the same plays. The difference is you're making plays now that you weren't making weeks 1 through 8.
Yeah.
That's the only difference.
And it comes down to execution at the end of the day, and the execution has been there. Even with guys being out, Tom Brady is just on another level right now, and that's why you have to get excited. And even going into his 21st year, you can see that he's excited about the challenge. First time in Brady's career that he's a wild card, but it's been a wild year. And if you're an NFL team out there, even the Rams with their defense, even the Saints, I don't think you want to play this team when they're full go. And right now they're at full go. They can do whatever they want to. Coach Arians talked about this a couple weeks ago. We could do whatever we want to when we want to. And if you have that type of attitude, you're cutting down on the mental mistakes. You're not committing penalties to shoot yourself in the foot. You're not turning over the ball, which we know Brady's not going to do that. You're going to beat anybody handily.
Absolutely, especially when you don't give the ball away. Giving gifts, as Aaron should say, we're a generous team.
Right.
Used to say that a lot last year. We're a generous team. We like to spot people 14 points at the beginning of the game.
Thanksgiving mood. The problem was you were doing it in September and October.
Yep. And you're not doing it now with this team. Take a sack, throw it away. You're seeing a huge difference. Sometimes the best play is the one you didn't try to make.
Yep.
And it clearly shows with the turnovers being. Is it just over 20 total turnovers, or is it under 20? I can't remember.
The largest turnaround since 1991. Yeah. Amazing.
And most of it's not even from your quarterback.
Yep.
And that's the craziest part. But it's just the way the offense was. And there's another part with the beginning of the year that goes unnoticed that everybody usually doesn't talk about, with the missing all that offseason time. And all those guys were injured at the beginning of the year. Nobody was healthy.
Yeah.
You didn't have all your marquee players at the beginning of the year, and you still don't have them. Remember, OJ went down. Then you have Mike Evans playing on one leg for weeks. Chris Godwin goes there. At one point at the beginning of the year, you were never at full strength.
You never had continuity between all of your receivers.
Yeah.
You didn't. So you're exactly right. All right, let's go out to Julio here. By signing Earl Thomas will help the Buccaneers play better against the Saints or the Packers. I think, again, it's execution. It's also getting out to a good start, and it's about your offensive line. Donovan Smith has to play better against the Trey Fredrickson.
Oh, God. Yeah, the Saints isn't the second. The Bucs, it's the offensive line against the Saints.
Right. Milo says, I think 100% Tampa Bay is peaking at the right time, and look out for this running game if they can commit to it. All right. You got your winning angle here. Tell us about it here really quick before we go into it.
Well, it was kind of predicated, on their offense, what they like to do on third downs. And, of course, a game plan for Alex Smith, but I don't see much difference coming with Heineke coming in, except with mobility now. Alex Smith was immobile, and he's not going to run at all, but Heineke will run, so that changes just a little bit, and RPO opens up, which Ron Rivera will run, and I expect to see in this matchup. So it breaks down little tendencies, what they like to do on their defense as well.
All right, the winning angle coming up here on the Sports Web, the evolution of sports talk television. Enjoy.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of The Winning Angle with your host from Sports Talk 49, Blake Anthony. Today, we're going to talk about the Buccaneers' upcoming matchup, some key things to look at, and what they should do to win. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Here is the Winning Angle's to-do list. On offense, slow the pass rush down, throw screens, establish the run early, score early. On defense, make Washington one-dimensional. Apply pressure. When they come out in double tight end sets, blitz. At least 2 turnovers to seal the victory for the day. X factors in the game. Levante David, Antonio Brown, Washington, Logan Thomas, Chase Young. How to slow down an aggressive pass rush. Spread them out and throw screens. Exactly what the Rams did in that blowout win against Washington. As you can see here, quick pass to Everett, the tight end. Great blocking downfield. Big run, big game. Let's check it out from another angle. Here it is here. No protection on the edges. 5 versus 4. The 4 first-round picks on Washington. They get the ball in the space. Linemen get upfield, and that's just like a handoff. So let's move on to the next series. Washington tries to react to the spread. Rams are ready. Come out and spread, use it back in the backfield, get defenders out of position, and use the great route running of Cooper Kupp and gets a tremendous big gain on Washington. Washington offense is going to try to do their best to get the ball out of Smith's hand as fast as they can. When they go on these double tights here early in the game, they're going to use Logan Thomas to block down and then release. They try to disguise things by running double tight ends on one side and then just use it to slip the tight end out and use the other tight end to free up space by running a clear out route to get him to run underneath. Philadelphia figured out what Washington was doing fairly fast in this game. Took away the first two reads and started jumping routes immediately because Alex Smith, clock in his head, goes quick and he wants to get the ball out of his hands as fast as he can. Philadelphia takes away the underneath. Second read in the red is the hot route. Defender jumps the route, makes a great interception. Logan Thomas falls down and the Eagles get the ball. We'll take a look at it from another angle here in 1 second. Here it is. Now at this moment, they're lined up like this. Alex Smith sees the blitzer. He already knows he wants to go to Logan Thomas on this. He looks at that defender on the left side outside the edge rusher, sees him flowing out to the flat, so he knows he has Thomas in that gap, or at least he thinks so. Forces the ball there. Defender's all over it. He's already undercutting the ball. Thomas falls down, and it's an easy interception going the other way. Every third down, they come out and spread. Back out the backfield, through trips, either to the left or to the right. Every third down except for maybe 2 occasions in this game. And all they're trying to do is get somebody into space or come into space. This particular play, they clear out with the seam straight down the numbers, use the drags underneath, and throws it to the little soft spot between the corner and the linebacker. So Alex Smith sees immediately that there's one guy in the middle of the field and there's a big gap to drop this ball in. Alex Smith doesn't really want to use his legs too much either, so he's going to force these balls in here because he's still ailing from an injury. Tampa Bay should jump these routes and have a great day in the secondary.
All right, welcome back to the evolution of Sports Talk Television. It's the Sports Web live from the Deck Bar and Grill in Isla de Sol. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with Mr. Rick Hughes from the cheap seats, of course. What's cooking in the South? Welcome, buddy. How you doing? I feel like I know you. Came up and shook your hand, gave you a big hug, man. It's glad to have you finally here on the evolution of Sports Talk Television in person.
Live and in person. This is a whole lot of fun.
Yes, absolutely. And of course, we're only 1 hour away, about an hour and 15 minutes away from Tampa Bay versus the Washington football team. What are your thoughts on this game besides the overall excitement of not only Bucs fans, but this Bucs team? We heard from Tom Brady. We just saw the winning angle from Blake Anthony. This is a pedestrian offense. Once again, you would think that this would favor the Bucs in this matchup, but it doesn't always work out that way, does it, Rick?
Well, no, it doesn't always work out the way you think, but honestly, I have to say that I feel like this game has, quite honestly, just a bludgeoning written all over it. I mean, it really does. I don't think this is going to be even close. I mean, the moment I heard Alex Smith is out, they're 1-4 without him. You know, they're 5-1 with him and 1-4 without him or something like that. I mean,
sure.
Could things be falling any better for the Buccaneers, even in the other games today?
Yeah.
Everything seems to be lining up. This season is magic.
It is magic, and you have the Rams right now. Cam Akers, Johnny Dean mentioning 150 yards. You know, oh, by the way, we were kind of touting him not only because I'm a Florida State homer, but because he's a talented running back that did it with the garbage offensive line, and right now he has been the catalyst for that Rams offense. Do you believe, in your opinion, a victim of volume or Ronald Jones can be the same type of player for this Tampa Bay Buccaneer team tonight versus Washington?
Well, I think he can be. I just don't think that the coaching staff calls for enough. I just don't think that's the style. They don't run like that. Do I think he could be? Sure. Do I think he's got the ability, the talent? Do I think he has all that? Yes. Do I think the coaching staff is going to call for that? No.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean anything. I mean, he is the victim of volume.
Right.
So if he is victim
I like
of
it.
volume.
I like it. There you go. Let me go ahead and fire those cannons for you right there. That was nice. So, and I look at this Rams game right now. They brought it up 27-22. They're running the ball more than they're passing the ball.
Right.
Could you see, and I know we keep on talking about it with all the weapons that Brady has and everything, but could you see if they have difficulty early passing the ball that they would go with a running game, or are they just going to go with the pass and then mix in the run?
Yeah, it's not.
Okay.
That is just not in Bruce Arians' DNA.
Okay.
He's not going to do it. I mean, I would love to see a game like that one time. I would love that. You have no idea how happy that would make me.
Right.
But I just don't think it's going to happen. Now, having said that, I don't think that this is going to be a concern.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I mean, I really think you're looking at a dumpster fire on the other side right now.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got 3 games that they've struggled in a row, and now what's his name? Michael Meineke, Chris Winkie.
I got his name wrong too. It's Heineke.
Yeah, Heineken.
Heineken. He's going to need a Heineken.
Yeah,
he may need a Heine after this.
So I mean,
he may be on his Heine.
That's what's going to happen.
That's what you would hope with this defense.
Right.
With getting back a Shaq Barrett. I mean, how important is it to get a Shaq Barrett back? Of course, JPP, and have an offensive line that has 50 sacks. They've given up 50 sacks this year. That's a dumpster fire. The Bucs fans were complaining about the Bucs offensive line.
This is what I don't understand.
Right. You have the Washington football team's offensive line. It's totally different.
Right. This is what I don't understand. I've never understood this. Everybody talking all week about Chase Young, who's not even their best defensive lineman. Okay. They're talking all about him. They're not talking about the rest of the D line. So Washington has a good defensive line. Okay. The Bucs aren't bad either.
Right.
They have more sacks than Washington does. Now, I get it. There's other factors. There's other things that come into play. But I don't see, when you look at the totality, when you look at holistically, you look at what's about to happen, I really see this as just, man, everything is lining up. Everything, I mean, just looks beautiful. I mean, we're watching this Rams-Seahawks game. And remember when they were talking about Russell Wilson being the MVP? I mean, are you watching this? Because
7 for 17, 110 yards, but it goes back to what we always talk about in the postseason here, Rick Hughes, some of the cheap seats, what's cooking in the South, of course, shows that can be seen and heard here on Bucs Report. It comes down to the defense getting after it. That's what this Rams team can do. Even with a struggling Jared Goff, who's hurt right now, Russell Wilson has no answer besides the big play versus DK Metcalf.
No.
This passing game has been non-existent. They have no running game, so that's the threat with this Rams team and why they can really go far in the postseason because their defense can carry the day. Can the Washington football team, in your estimation, do the same thing?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. I just don't see it at all. If so, why would they have struggled against Philadelphia and the 2 games prior to that?
Right. I mean, you put in Nate Sudfeld and you can't put them away?
Right.
Give me a break.
And now, I mean, and the Rams even dealing with injuries. Now, I don't know if you heard, but Wolford, the starting quarterback, had to take away an ambulance from the stadium.
Yep.
So, I mean,
neck injury.
Yeah. And so apparently that was pretty bad because when they took him back, off the field, they
looked like his neck was compounded on the hit. He was going to the ground. It looked like the defender. I don't think it was a helmet-to-helmet shot, but it was just
compression.
Enough.
Yeah, it was
right.
the compression.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I don't know. I mean, Peter, man, this is fun because I'm sitting here with you.
Yes.
And for how many years have you and I been fans and lived the nightmare?
Of course.
And now I get to sit here side by side.
Yes.
And experience the fun tonight. And I honestly believe this is going to be a fun night for Buccaneers fans.
Yeah, and
if the Buccaneers score on their first drive, and if they hold Washington on their first drive, the game is over.
Yeah. What's the biggest concern with this Washington football team besides the obvious defensive question? Offensively, you got a McLaurin, who is a talented wide receiver. You have a J.D. McKissick. We know that the Bucs have had problems with running backs out of the backfield. 80 catches. You're missing a Devin White. So is there a possibility that if Tampa Bay struggles early, that Washington could stay in this game? I think it goes back to Harry the Greek. I think he put it so eloquently. is if you hold the Bucs to field goals and you get into a field goal matchup, that's when the opposing team has an opportunity to win this game.
Look, I think you say other than the defensive line, what am I concerned about?
Right.
I'm
not concerned at all, are you?
I can't come up with something. I mean, that's the problem is what else do they have? It's not their it's not their secondary.
Right.
Okay. It's not their offense. I mean, with Chris Winkie, Heineken, whatever. I mean, I'm just not. And this game, the moment I heard Alex Smith was out, the game was pretty much over.
But here's the thing, Rick. He only threw for 162 yards, and he's going through the injury, so he's not mobile in the first place.
Right.
Is there a chance that Washington could fool the Bucs defense because there is not enough film out there on him that you're not game planned on him? Or do you think that's preposterous? This defense will be ready to go, especially Todd Bowles.
You used the right word. You're saying, is there a chance? Do you remember in Dumb and Dumber?
Yes.
When they said, so you're saying there's a chance.
So you're saying there's a chance, Mary.
They have as much of a chance as the Dumb and Dumber guys had with the girls.
Finish the line. Is it 1 in 100? What did you say, Mary? Give it to me straight. Is it 1 in 100, 1 in 1,000? I would say 1 in a million.
So you're saying there's a chance. So, I mean, that's what it's like here. That is what it's like here.
Yes.
I just don't see it. Now, listen, you've heard me say it before. Any given Sunday.
Yep.
Nah, it's not Saturday. It's any given Sunday. It ain't going to happen today. It's Saturday.
Right.
Okay? It's not going to happen. I am not concerned. I know the right thing to do is to not count your chickens, but unfortunately, I have no playoff experience in a very long time, so I'm counting my chickens early. Sorry, guys. Oops. But
Oops, you did it again?
What's that?
Oops, you did it again?
Yep. I mean, I just look at it, and it's like this is set up so beautifully.
Yes.
Everything is lining up. The stars are aligning. The Rams are winning. I mean, if the Bears win, the Bucs get a home playoff game.
Yeah.
I mean, if this game continues. Now, Russell Wilson has the ability sometimes to.
Well, of course, it would have to mean also the Saints would have to get upset by the Bears.
If the Bears win,
right?
So if the Bears win,
right?
If the Bears win, the Bucs will have a home playoff game,
right?
And that's. I mean, it just feels like the stars are aligning.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, what? I look at the way this whole thing is going to go down.
Mm-hmm.
I look at the way everything is lining up, and it just makes me smile. It really makes me smile. I mean, I'm watching Seattle struggle like crazy against this Rams defense that the Buccaneers silenced.
Yep.
I don't know. I mean, you certainly can't count any game as a win until it's a win. But I'm as close as you can come to counting this game as a win.
Yeah, all right. Open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. It's the Sports Web live at the Deck Bar and Grill in Isla
Can
del
I
Sol.
do that once?
Go ahead, go for it.
It's the Sports Web live at the Deck Bar and Grill at Isla del Sol.
Love it. Very good. Let me go ahead and fire those cannons for you. Very good. We got your Blake-isms down.
Yeah.
We got Rick Hughes from the Cheap Seats. What's cooking in the South? Tell everybody about those shows if they don't know. They've just tuned in to the Sports Web. Shame on you, by the way. But what's cooking in the South, and, of course, from the Cheap Seats on Sunday night.
If you like food and you like football, you want to watch What's Cooking in the South, which is now kind of what's cooking in the playoffs.
Right.
Okay. But it's a whole lot of fun. And you know what I get to do? I get to try the Walker's Wood shrimp tonight, which we shared the recipe on the show.
Oh, very
so
nice.
I'm pretty excited about that. But yeah, you get you basically it's at the intersection of food and football. We get to talk about both. Now, Sunday nights, strap in, get yourself seat belted in because it's a ride for live from the Cheap Seats. We've got crazy segments and a whole lot of fun, and it is a blast.
Absolutely.
So Sundays at 9. And tomorrow night's going to be crazy.
All right, so the breaking news of the day, Alex Smith is not going to start in this game. It's going to be Taylor Heineke. He's going to be the starting quarterback of the Washington football team. On the Bucs side, Mike Evans is going to play in this game. Carlton Davis is going to play in this game. And, of course, Shaq Barrett will play in this game. Bucs getting healthy at the right time. Do you agree with Mike Evans playing in this game? Because some fans say, you know what, the Bucs should rest him. But at the end of the day, Mike Evans has never seen postseason play. He's one of your top guys. Even if you use him as a decoy, you have to pay attention to him which means possibly bracketing coverage, double teaming him, which opens it up for a Chris Godwin and an Antonio Brown.
You don't remotely consider sitting Mike Evans.
Okay.
I don't even think it, to me, it's not a discussion in my brain. There's no debate in my brain at all. Okay. If you lose the game, you're out. So, this is it.
All hands on deck.
Yeah, it's all hands on deck. It's one and done. You know what? Now, should the Buccaneers take a 21-point lead, Mike Evans should be on an early plane.
Right.
Okay. He doesn't even need to fly back with the team. Get him out of there. Okay. And I'm believing something like that's going to happen as far as they're going to leave her. I mean, the game's going to be over pretty quick and early.
Right.
I think tonight is going to be a celebration of the fact that the Buccaneers are in the playoffs for the first time in 13 years.
Yes. With Tom Brady. I mean, talk about Tom Brady.
Say that again.
With Tom Brady. With Tom Brady playing his first wild card game, 40 touchdowns, 43 total touchdowns this year. How well has he played in this last half of this year? It seems like the Bucs offense is going in full gear. The defense is getting better. All three facets, they are really top-notch right now. I don't think there's an NFL team that really wants to play this Buccaneer team.
The only team that might want to play them is the Saints, and I wouldn't blame them for wanting to.
Sure.
But I think there's a part of the Buccaneers that wants to play them.
Right.
So, we'll see how that plays itself out. But I can tell you the Packers certainly don't want another piece of that. Aaron Rodgers doesn't want another piece of that. I mean, who would want to play this team? They're in essence the mirror image of Seattle. Seattle at the beginning of the year, everybody's talking MVP for Russell Wilson. Seattle is fantastic. Look at what they're doing. And now they limp into the playoffs. They're getting their butt kicked tonight. Russell Wilson looks like he's falling apart. In the meantime, the flip side of that, Tom Brady. The Buccaneers struggle at the beginning of the year, and now look at the momentum they're going into the playoffs with. And if they win this game like I think they're going to, holy freaking cow, I would not want to play them.
No, not at all.
The young guys are believing in themselves. That's what's new, Peter. That's what's new is the young guys on this team are believing in themselves. Not just they believe in the system, they believe in themselves, they believe they can win, not hope they can win. They believe they can win. And that's what's different between last year and this year. Last year was, I hope we can win, I hope we're not going to screw it up, I hope we can pull out this game. Now it's, holy cow, man, we can win this. We're going to do this.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think that is truly the Brady effect when he's instilling that confidence and also giving his experience. And look, they have players on this team besides the Tom Brady who have had postseason experience. You have a JPP on this team, a Shaq Barrett who was with the Denver Broncos, so they understand it. But you also have players on this team that love to see the postseason now with the Levante David, who's played so many years in the Buccaneer uniform, finally getting his taste of it. A Mike Evans finally getting a taste of it. So
how much Tom Brady has some playoff experience?
Oh my goodness.
Okay,
absolutely.
So do you realize Tom Brady has played, I think it's like 3 seasons worth of football.
Yeah.
Just in the postseason, if you add up all his games.
Yeah.
So like he's 43. He's been in the league for what, like 20 years? It's actually 23.
Yeah.
He's got 3 additional years of just extra bonus postseason football.
I know it's a different season. It's a different animal here. Rick Hughes from the Cheap Seats. What's cooking in the South? Let me go back out to the webheads here. Cam Akers with 150 total yards already picking up yards. Holy stuff. Rick Hughes is in Tampa. Wow. That's where you need to get into. Rams D is the real deal. Agree with that. Johnny Dean, Tampa just needs to play their game and execute. Bill says Antonio Brown in the last month has done nothing but get better and better each week. Impact player today. Fire them cannons as we shall. Rick here chopping it up with Ed, one of our webheads here. From your mouth to God's ears. Milo says this guy just jinxed us. Laugh out loud. Stop it. With an inexperienced quarterback, you have to secure the hook and drag in seams. Buchanan should see some playing time tonight. Guys, we're doing a live show over here.
Are you seeing what's happening in the game right now?
I know. I'm done.
Aaron Donald's being taken back to the locker room.
Wow.
The chips are falling into place.
Yes, they are.
That's
and
exactly right.
To you guys, would you shut up over there and be quiet? Alicatine is a miracle drug. Let's go. MK13. Hope Jarvis says bye. I don't know why you're saying bye for. Herb Miller is active. Absolutely. Milo Jackson, I'd start Mike, but if he's not at least 80%, I wouldn't use him. much expect in the red zone. Dwight says, let's go. Misador, I thought I read Buchanan in as well. One game at a time, guys. It's never been one game at a time for me. I've said from the very beginning, I'm going to continue to say it. Bucs fans, webheads, do not be afraid of the expectation of Super Bowl or bust. You heard BA on Good Morning Football was saying it's Super Bowl or bust. That's what it is every year, but they have the expectations because of a Tom Brady, because of a Rob Gronkowski. Let's talk about Gronkowski being able to stay healthy for a full 16 games this year, 16 games this year, and his impact on this offense. Do you think he can make an impact in this game, in your opinion?
Sure, absolutely. But I don't know that it's going to be just catching the ball.
Okay.
I think he's going to have an impact on the game, just blocking on the offensive line. And let me say this: when everybody says one game at a time, I'm not playing. Okay, I'm a fan. I don't have to take it one game at a time.
Well, he's a broadcaster on Bucs Report. He's not just a fan.
But look, I can't deny it. I can't. Yes, I try to look at things professionally, but there's a bottom line here. Since I was 8, and I've told you guys the story, I've been a fan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Yes, I'm a fan. I also have to step out of those shoes from time to time and be objective, but I cannot deny that. Okay? So here's the bottom line. I don't have to take it one day at a time. Yep. Broadcasters don't have to take it one game at a time. Nobody has to take it one game at a time other than the players who have to step on the field and beat the crap out of the Washington football team today.
Yep.
They've got to take it one game at a time. In the meantime, I'm having fun. This is awesome. I can look ahead.
Absolutely. I like it. All right. Let's get this win, and I think he's saying, let's get by this Washington football team defensive line. Haven't seen that. I will check. Milo says Aaron Donald just got escorted by the medical staff to the locker room, so that could be a serious injury. Yes, Buchanan is on the active roster. He is. We talked about that last night. Wait, Rick Hughes lives in Charlotte. How is he in St. Petersburg? What sorcery is this? It's called, I don't know.
The miracle of flight.
Right. Getting on a plane and traveling. I get it. We're going through a global pandemic, but let's not lose our minds here. We're still traveling. We're still social distancing. He has his mask. I have my mask in my pocket. Everything is going to be okay. Anwar says, Super Bowl or bust, let's go. And I will fire those cameras. Yes. Let's read this. The Buccaneers elevated linebacker Deion Buchanan, guard Ted Larson, quarterback Kurt Miller, defensive lineman Benning. I can't pronounce his name.
Potato.
Well, you shut up. From the practice squad for Wild Card Weekend, Miller and Pote are designated as COVID-19. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Okay, so Devin White is out of the game, of course. We talked about that. We're definitely going to make a statement today. Go Bucs. VOC is going to kill it tonight. We're too hungry and haven't been here in a while. I definitely feel this is our time. I'll tell you what, let's go out to our professional handicapper, Mr. Harry the Greek here. Your thoughts on these games today, buddy? I mean, you have an opportunity here. We go back to, I don't know if you watched it or not, the Bills and Colts game. Colts have plenty of opportunities to win that game. And what's going on right now with the Rams in Seattle? Go ahead and dissect it for me. My professional handicapper, 88%, that percentage going up by the second, the minute, the hour.
What's happening, guys? It's playoff time in Tampa, Florida.
Absolutely.
Except they're in Washington. The good news is Peter and Rick and Blake are going to buy me a Heineke. Get it?
Oh,
Heineke.
I like it.
I'll take a couple of Heinekes, actually. Listen, something, a little stat for you. I didn't really know too much about this guy. He's 12 for 19 for $137 and a TD and no picks. That's not bad. That's just for 100%. I think Tampa should be scared about this, guys. What do you think? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Rick, I'm just trying to get your goat, okay, on this one. I swear to God, I'm so glad I could see Rick's face right here. Listen, they still have to face this defense for the Washington football team. The first half is going to be a little tighter. So instead of Tampa only winning by 4 or 5 points by the halftime, it's going to be more like 10 to 15 points, guys. Listen, I was fortunate enough earlier in the week, and I told everybody, if you can get that game at -7.5, to go ahead and jump all over the Washington, okay? To jump all over, at Tampa. The line is 10, and they don't have Alex Smith, and I'm still telling you, jump all over that line. This is my game of the week at 7.5. This is still a really good line. And you know what? It's the lowest total of the season for the Buccaneers. The total for the game is 45 points. 45.
Yes, and we
The
talked.
Bucs might do that.
I mean, they
Hold
really-
on. Timeout.
Yes.
Timeout. If Alex Smith was playing, gentlemen, I really like the over in this game. So if you have not made that play, please don't bet that over like I was saying earlier in the week. You want to bet the under in this game.
Really?
If you like the Buccaneers to cover the 10, you bet the under, and I'm going to explain why. Because the game's going to get out of hand probably by the middle of the third quarter. Tampa will call off the dogs because they're winning by 3 or 4. They don't want to risk injuries, okay? Remember, you still have Carlton Davis gets a little bit injured. Rojo has been injured. Mike Evans has been injured. They can't afford to have any injuries on this. They should be able to sail through this game. So lay the 10 points, make a small position on a 2-team parlay, very small. Tampa minus 10, under 45. It should be a winner. However, if you like Washington to cover the 10 points, that's when you bet the over in the parlay. But I am not telling you to bet Washington in this game. Lay the 10 points and play under the 45.5 that's sitting on the table in front of you. And let's go ahead and eat some dinner, folks. What do you think? With
I got a question, Harry. I've got a question. Is it possible to wager something like this? I think the Buccaneers defense will outscore Washington's offense.
You know what? No, there isn't. But there are proposition bets to see how many sacks they're going to be in the game, if there's going to be a safety, how many interceptions are going to be thrown. But generally, when you talk about those type of proposition bets, there's usually a lot of juice involved. So, like if you bet 100, you might have to lay like 180 to get one of those plays back. And I did look at a couple of them, and I really didn't like too many of them. But I promise you, before this game starts, I'll look at a couple of more proposition bets, in particular, maybe, individual players. So if someone wants to bet Ronald Jones to go over or under the amount of yards that Vegas has him at, or Mike Evans or Chris Godwin, how many completions that Tom Brady may have, or his total yards, over and under 2.5 for touchdowns. I mean, there's all kinds. And if I'm not mistaken, the over and under for his touchdowns in this game is 2.5. And everybody seems to think they're just going to be like a 35 to 38 point game for Tampa. And if that's the case, that definitely could go over. But again, Washington's not too hurt on defense, so don't get too involved with going on the over 2.5 at this point.
And we're on with our professional handicapper, Mr. Harry the Greek, here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. It's the Sports Web. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with Mr. Rick Hughes from the Cheap Seats. What's cooking in the South? Go ahead and dissect what's going on right now with the Rams in Seattle. Rams up 23-13. Aaron Donald looks like he is out of this game. You also have the rookie quarterback, Jared Goff, is playing. He's been largely ineffective, but this defense is for real. Do you think Seattle can come back, or are the Rams going to win this game? It's going to set up some really interesting matchups in the coming weeks.
That's a great question, because right now, Seattle, before that last commercial showed, during the commercial, Seattle to win the game was plus 1,100, gentlemen. 1,100. That line just dropped to plus 300 because Aaron Donald just went out of that game. So do I think Seattle can come back and win it? Absolutely. That's not what I'm rooting for. I want to see Tampa get a playoff game at home, if at all possible. But a few things have to happen about that. But it looks like the momentum is going to start shifting over towards Seattle a little bit. I mean, you can only play, good defense like that for X amount of time. If you're not giving your defense a chance to rest, and that's exactly what I'm seeing, it could get kind of ugly. They're going to need a little bit of help in this game.
Yeah, they really are going to need some help in this game. And, of course, the other factor here, Rick, would be if the Saints, of course, lose to the Chicago Bears. Harry's kind of said they have an opportunity. I think they have an opportunity, too. I'm not sold on the Saints, so I think there are a lot of Bucs fans just hoping for the Saints to be out in this first round. Rick, how likely do you think it could happen? And I'll go to you, Harry.
Give it 33% chance.
Okay.
I mean, do I hope it happens? Sure, 33%. That's not terrible. I'll take those odds. When it comes to this, with as far as hoping for the upset, I think that game is possible.
Okay. All right, let me go out to my professional handicapper, Harry. What's the percentage in your eyes? I know you're a little bit closer to Chicago, but once again, they have a defense. It was a close game, and with that being said, it was a close game with all the injuries in the first matchup. Now they got some of those guys back. So what's your percentage on the Bears beating the Saints tomorrow?
Let me give you a little help on this one, gentlemen. Because of the I don't know if everybody caught the show from last night, and I'll give you the percentage in a second. The last time the Bears faced off in with the New Orleans Saints. It was in New Orleans earlier in the year. No Mitchell Trubisky. The left tackle was out. The right tackle was out. The right guard was out. Khalil Mack got dinged up in the third quarter. Akeem Hicks left in the third quarter. They lost 2 starting corners, and they came back to tie the game in the fourth quarter to push it to overtime. Okay? And the Bears lost the game by 3 points. And they were 7.5, almost 8-point underdogs in this game. Tomorrow, Chicago is now 10-point underdog in this game. You now have your offensive line is relatively healthy. You have Mitchell Trubisky at quarterback. You got a running back in David Montgomery that's running for $140 a game the last 5 games and getting into the end zone running the football, which is key. Jimmy Graham's having a hell of a year right now. The scary part for this is one simple thing. Their defense hasn't quite looked the same the past 3 or 4 weeks. You have Roquan Smith, which is going to be a game-time decision, as well as Jalen Johnson, the other cornerback. If one of those 2 players come back, I give this over a 50% chance. I am going to have a position in this game, not only taking the 10 points, but I'm also going to play Chicago on the money line. Nothing would make me happier than to see the Bears absolutely tear New Orleans a new you-know-what. And then they have to go to Green Bay. Because you know what? I want to see Tampa and the Bears in the NFC Championship because that'll be a hell of a game. And it would just be almost poetic justice because everybody in the country, around the world, has been touting this New Orleans team and this Green Bay team.
Yeah, you're exactly right here, Harry. Let me come back to us here. The big story from ESPN was that Vegas and the bettors out there don't want to see the Tampa Bay Buccaneers win the Super Bowl. In fact, they're saying that if the Bucs win the Super Bowl, that would be a big loser. Go ahead and explain Vegas's thinking on why they're so down on the Bucs.
You know, I've never really understood that. I mean, I remember a couple of years ago when the Minnesota Vikings were hosting the Super Bowl, and they were a really good football team. But not only were they playing the opposing team in the NFC Championship, guys, they were also playing against the referees. There were some mysterious calls being made. It was just almost like it was fixed. And believe me, I'm not trying to get up and give out any conspiracy theories, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist. But it really was very suspicious. Tampa's got, you know, if it holds the same way, it's going to be very difficult because not only are they playing the opposing team and whoever it might be, you know, they're going to have to play against the referees, in my opinion, because it's just not good. I just don't like what I was seeing.
All right. Let's hold on a sec here. We're got Cedric there talking to Rick Hughes there. I guess we're trying to get something going here. But again, they update the game. Los Angeles Rams 23-13 over the Seattle Seahawks. It's 4th and 1. Russell Wilson right now 8 for 20, 125, and 1 touchdown. Go back to the Colts and Bills matchup there. With that being said, are you still feeling like the Bills, in your opinion, are a team that is a team to beat?
You know what? I was definitely over the top on the Buffalo Bills from 5-6 weeks ago, and I've been touting them the last 3 or 4 weeks, and I still think I thought that they were the best team in the AFC. I can't give you an honest opinion, but I can tell you this much. It was definitely a wake-up call for Allen and the rest of that team. They escaped with a victory at home. I don't think you're going to see a repeat of that. I think they're going to cruise to the AFC Championship, and I really do think they're going to go to the Super Bowl this year. You can't win every game convincingly. I mean, everybody knows that. You just can't. Indy came in fired up, and people, you have to remember, the Indianapolis Colts, they have a really, really stout defense, and they were taking it to them. And let's not forget, this team is still very young, and they've got that one close win under their belt, and that really is a momentum driver. And everybody knows how I love those 2 letters, Mo, M-O, baby, because Mo is what keeps carrying you.
Absolutely. Let's go back to the Washington football team and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Of course, the Bucs have the momentum going into this game. Give me a final score, and we'll get you out of here, Harry the Greek.
Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
34-9.
Wow. 34-9, Tampa Bay over the Washington football team. All right, Harry the Greek, I appreciate you. My professional handicapper, 88%. Write him down. We'll have him on throughout the week on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. Thanks a lot for your time, buddy. All right?
Have a good time. And Cedric, Are you there, Cedric? Can you hear me?
I'm right here, Mr. Harry.
Make sure you make him an extra really good plate of that Walker's Wood shrimp because, son, I keep bragging about it. Y'all's food are the best out there, man. If you haven't had a chance, go see Cedric at the Deck Bar and Grill. The man's a phenomenal manager, and he's even a better cook. He always takes care of us.
All right, good stuff. Harry the Greek, our professional handicapper and also salesman, selling everybody on the Deck Bar and Grill, but you really don't have to. Great food, great service. Thanks a lot for your time, buddy, all right?
Take care, Peter. Thanks for having me on. We'll talk to you.
All right.
Go.
There, go.
Thanks, Harry.
Go.
I appreciate
Go ahead,
that,
say
man.
it. Finish it. Finish it.
Go Bucs, baby.
Go Bucs, baby.
All right, good stuff there. There you go. We got Cedric Robinson, GM here of the Deck Bar and Grill. Less than we got 8:15 game time. Bucs playing in the first playoff matchup since 13 years ago. I mean, how do you feel about this matchup versus the Washington football team? How concerned are you, Cedric, about this this matchup tonight versus this defense?
I'm not concerned.
Okay.
I think we're the higher seed for a reason. And lucky us, right?
Yes.
We get to play against the NFC East in the first game.
That's the reason why you play all your starters versus the Atlanta Falcons last week, Cedric.
Exactly. So for me, it's a no-brainer. On my parlays, of course, I took Tampa Bay. I'll take the points. I don't mind. They can go ahead and give up the 8 points because, like Harry said, 34-9. I agree with him.
Yeah.
It might even be worse. I think we score another 40 tonight.
It may be worse, but I tell you right now, the Bucs have to get off to a good start. I am concerned about Chase Young and a Montez Sweat on both of those sides. The offensive line of the Bucs definitely will have their hands full tonight. But when you have a Tom Brady, talk about him. I mean, 40 touchdowns, 43 total touchdowns for the year. You never thought this was going to be you never thought he was going to be this good, right? But he really is.
Is he not an armchair quarterback's dream?
I'm right.
You know, when your wife or your girlfriend's sitting there like, you're not even playing in the game. Why are you making all this noise? I said, he's 40 years old.
Right.
And he's doing it. And he's been doing it for 20 years. You know, it's a testament to not just our generation, to how healthy our generation has become, and the longevity to be able to play a sport like this, where you have a 4-year, 5-year lifespan in the NFL.
Yeah.
And this guy's still doing it, man. He really is the GOAT. So I give it to Tom Brady. He's the GOAT. He's proven it. Him and Tiger Woods and Michael Jordan all signed a deal with the devil, and I appreciate them making that contract happen.
I don't know if they did that. Great stuff there. Cedric Robinson, the GM of the Deck Bar and Grill in Isla del Sol. So what do we got going on tonight? You got specials going on tonight, and then also you had something to give me and the gang here at Bucs Report.
I have something especially for Mr. Peter Blake. I want to tell you this has been an incredible season. 16 games with these guys here, helping promote the Bucs, helping promote my restaurant. And it's been nothing but a great union between us. I look forward to next year and every year after that. This has been one of the best marketing moves I've ever been involved in.
Appreciate
and
that.
Something I've always wanted to do.
Let me go and fire those cannons really quick. Appreciate that. We really appreciate being here and your hospitality and the food and the service, and it's just unbelievable. And you got a full house tonight. I mean, it's packed up. It really is. Love it.
Look at the intensity of the fans. Look at the camaraderie. Look at everyone coming out for the Bucs again.
Yes.
The Bucs are relevant.
Yes.
They are fun.
Yes.
They're firing those cannons. You know what I mean? So 13 years ago, I think we played a 7-9 team in the first game. I believe it was the New York Giants.
There's the New York Giants. They were 9-7, but they were largely an underdog at that point. Of course, Eli Manning. You have a Brandon Jacobs, a defense that got after it. A lot of people trying to correlate it, but I think you got a Tom Brady. You've got an offense right now that is going at full gear. Yes. Let me ask you about Mike Evans. Do you feel like he should play in this game? Are they making the right decision by playing him? Should they rest him? Do you feel confident that Mike Evans can have an impact against the Washington football team tonight?
I think Mike Evans needs to make an appearance just so the defensive coordinators for the Washington football team have something to be concerned about.
Okay.
Whether he's involved in the game as much as he should be, again, he's someone on the field that they have to be concerned about.
Yeah.
And if we write him off at the beginning of the game, I think that eases up the tension for the Washington football team to say, hey, guess what? We ain't got to deal with Mike Evans tonight. Let's concentrate. As far as that pass rush and as far as that defensive line from the Washington football team, they've already made it. We're coming after Tom Brady.
And what are we going to do? We're going to protect Tom Brady tonight. We're going to make sure those guys are shut down, whether it be double teams, whether it be stunts, whether it be whatever we have to do to key in on those two guys. I think we'll get it done tonight. I think they will have a game plan that's going to be ready to attack and make sure that we make sure our golden boy is taken care of tonight.
you gotta have it cleaned up. And then on the other side, the defense here has a real opportunity. No Alex Smith tonight. You got Taylor Heineke, and he may need a Heineke or a Heine after this game because he may be on his Heine. Offensive line giving up 50 sacks. Could be a big night for this Buccaneer defense, in your opinion, right?
I think so. I think so. Everything is going our way. Everything is looking like we should be moving forward. And if the games go the way I'm looking at them today, the Rams end up winning this game. And if we can cross my fingers and Chicago can take New Orleans out, how, I don't know. Man, what a path. What a path to the NFC Championship.
Defense and running game. I mean, it's been shown right now, Cedric. You have a Rams team that basically is doing nothing in the air, but you have over 100 yards of rushing with the Cam Akers. You're taking care of the ball. Yep. You got a quick turnover, so it can't be done. And with the Bears, they found David Montgomery. So who knows what can happen in these playoffs. A close game today, a close game right now. Give me a prediction, Bucs versus the Washington football team.
Of course, you know I'm going to go with the Bucs. I don't want to copy Harry, but I like that 34-9, but I'm going to put up the 44-9.
Whoa!
I think a straight up A-whooping tonight, my friend.
All right, let me go ahead and fire those cannons right there. And what do you got for me here?
All right, so again, the Bucs Report isn't just an addition to the deck. They are family. So we're going to make sure they are family. So we're going to give you our deck shirt, not your average sports bar, right?
I love it.
Got deck logo on the back.
I like it.
And
right there.
That is it. You're part of the team. Initiation is over. Hazing is done, bro.
Appreciate you, buddy.
Bucs
Appreciate
Report
you.
in the Deck Bar and Grill.
Definitely get out here to the Deck Bar and Grill in Isla del Sol. Once again, great food, great service, and a guy like this running it, he knows exactly what he's doing because, of course, he hired us.
I hired them. That's right.
All right, my friend.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Let's have a great game. Go Bucs, baby. Go Bucs.
All right, we'll see if we can get some web heads on here. But I tell you what, let's go out to Stephen Che, who has a fantastic breakdown of Barstool Sports, of Antoine Winfield and his impact. Hold on a minute. Oh, you come on back. Bring on Ed. But we're going to go into this breakdown from Stephen Che of Barstool Sports here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. Enjoy.
Antoine Winfield Jr. earned a start in game one of his rookie year, and he's been fantastic all season. He has everything you're looking for in a modern-day safety. Let's start with the ability to key and diagnose. He sees Calvin Ridley coming across the middle of the field, and he closes fast. Not only does he close quickly, but he breaks down and makes a good open field tackle. Let's take a look at it from the end zone view to really appreciate the tackle. He closes here, and watch, breakdown, tackle. Nice stuff from the rookie. Here the Bucs are in single high, and his mental processing and ability to key and diagnose, again, leaps off the table. Let's freeze it here really quickly. The play just started, but Winfield is already breaking on this slant. Zooming in, you can see Winfield already breaking. The ball isn't even out of Matt Ryan's hands, and Winfield is coming for Hayden Hurst with a full head of steam, and he separates the receiver from the ball. Again, take a look at that in full speed. Big-time play. Looking at it from the end zone copy, you can see Winfield at full speed with a perfectly legal hit, square on the thigh, leading with the shoulder. Incredible play. When Hurst gets up, watch Winfield talk that shit. We got an enforcer over the middle again in Tampa Bay. And Winfield has obviously pro bloodlines. Watch this championship effort he plays with in great range. He's starting on the 48-yard line, past the far hash. Brian Hill's out of the gate, has nothing but green grass in front of him. But Winfield is hustling the entire way, chases him down, and saves a touchdown. And as a safety, you need to be able to offer up some run support. And check him out. He's going to meet Todd Gurley in the hole here. It's a group effort from the Bucs defense, but Gurley is stood up. Awesome play. From the sideline angle, you can see just how eager Winfield is to fill that alley. At 5'9", 203 pounds, he has no issue shying away from contact. In fact, he embraces it. And Winfield has some Rondé Barber-esque qualities. And check him out, creeping up to the line here. He disguises his responsibilities perfectly and blows up this run play, creating a turnover, rewinding it back and slowing it down. Winfield is blitzing off the edge and is unaccounted for. Matt Ryan sees him at the last second, and his reaction causes the handoff to be off the mark. He puts the ball in Hill's ribs, not his stomach, and Winfield is Johnny on the spot, picks up the ball. It was ruled down on the play, but Winfield has everything you're looking for in a modern-day safety. He is an impressive rookie.
He really is. Welcome back to the Evolution of Sports Talk Television, live from the Deck Bar and Grill. It's the Sports Web. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with one of my favorite web heads, Mr. Ed here. Your thoughts on this game tonight? You have to be excited. Go ahead and get into that mic right there. 13 years exercising that curse. Finally, the Bucs are back in the playoffs. How you feeling, my man?
Oh, I'm very fired up. But you know what I think is crazy? As much as I've been on your show, I still don't get a nameplate, man.
Well, everybody doesn't get a name. Everybody doesn't get a participation.
Yeah, but as long as I've been on here, and I'm really
just
jealous.
Ed the Web head.
And I'm really jealous about you getting a T-shirt too.
You know what? I think you should do that right there.
That's what I was waiting for. Yeah, I'm really fired up about this game here,
Rams,
man.
By the way.
And wow,
put it away. The
wow,
Rams
that's
are gonna
good.
win this game.
Yeah, so we know what the Bucs are going to be doing next week.
So we'll see. So give me your thoughts, buddy, on this.
I'm fired up, and I think the Bucs are going to blow this game out, man. They'll be up by 20 by halftime.
20 by halftime.
Yeah.
So no concern about this Washington football team at all. Chase Young's comments.
Okay. No, I don't care about Chase Young. Okay. This is the Bucs' time, man. Okay. The story of the Bucs here is that they go to the Super Bowl and be the first team to have the first home game in the Super Bowl. That's the story. They've been through a lot of adversity this year, injuries, COVID, name it. You name it.
Yeah.
It's the greatest story ever in national football, and we're gonna witness it.
Absolutely. So give me some primetime players. Who's going to stick out on offense? Who's going to stick out on defense, in your opinion, Ed?
I think Shaq Barrett's going to have a good game and a big one.
Okay.
And also on the other side, Levante David is going to have a big one. And let's see. Jason Pierre-Paul, big game. They're going to feast.
Give me one player, not 1,000, but that's okay. I understand it.
I can't help it. I'm a Bucs fan, man.
I know. I got you. Offensively, who do you think stands out tonight?
Let's see. Brady's going to stand out, of course.
Okay.
And the victim of volume.
Oh, listen to you. All right, I'll go ahead and give you that. I like it.
Yeah.
All right. So
he's going to have a big game.
Okay. Over 100 yards tonight?
I'm hoping he gets 150 yards in the first quarter.
Nice.
But that's like asking a lot,
Tom
especially
Brady,
with this
Brady,
type of offense.
40 touchdowns this year, 43 total. How do you feel about him?
I've always loved him. I became a Tom Brady fan because I played a lot of fantasy football, and I drafted him one year, and he was like a one-man game, man. He would win games for me, fantasy points out the door, man. He would just we just blow teams away. I won a lot of money with him.
All right.
So that's what made me become a fan of Tom Brady.
All right, Ed. So give me a prediction of this score tonight. Tampa Bay, Washington football team, and we'll see you at the post-game edition. Prediction.
42-zip.
42-0.
Yeah.
So no concern about the Washington football team.
I think the Washington football team is going to have a nightmare tonight with our defense.
Okay. All right, Ed. There you go, Mr. Ed the Webhead. Thanks a lot. Go ahead and hand your cans to Ron over there. Let's go ahead and get Ron. Webheads coming from everywhere tonight. Everybody here at the Deck Bar and Grill. If you're a Bucs fan, where you at? Why aren't you on the phone too? 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391 here as we got Ron in the building. Go ahead and put those cans on, my friend, as they call it in the business. Get into that microphone. Glad to meet you. Thanks a lot for your service to our country, of course. Go ahead and explain your story. A Marine, right?
Yes, sir. Actually,
Hoorah.
Hoorah.
Devil dog.
Hoorah, devil dog.
Yes.
Yeah, actually have service, served 4.5 years in the Marine Corps,
Okay.
and got out after deploying to Iraq in 2003 for the initial invasion, and then joined the Army a couple years later, and I was actually at 31 Bravo.
Nice.
Served as a military policeman, another deployment to Iraq.
Okay. All right. I'll tell you what. Let's go ahead and go out to the phone line. We'll take some phone calls and we'll read some comments and then we'll get your prediction. Welcome to the Evolution. You're on with yours truly or wrong with Ron here, one of my favorite web heads on the sports web. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
What's up? It's Alex and Tim. We're in Tampa, Florida.
What's going on, Alex? How you doing, bud?
We're watching you on our living room with a 60-inch plasma before the big game.
How's it look?
Oh, man, it looks crystal clear. I like the little RE320 mic.
Yeah, man. I definitely like the RE320s. We got these from Sam Ash, who's definitely taking care of us and give us great sound here. But, yeah, we're out here at the Deck Bar and Grill. It seems like it's really packed up. So what do you think tonight, Alex, about this Tampa Bay Buccaneer team versus the Washington football team going against this tough defense? What do you say?
Well, I'll tell you first before I tell you that. Clint Reiner, he's the one that told me about you guys. You guys are great. We really enjoy watching you.
Okay.
And I think they're going to be Super Bowl. I think they're going to win the Super Bowl. Do you guys actually think that they're the ones going to win the Super Bowl this year?
Yes, a Super Bowl or bust. I've been saying it from the very get-go. Ron knows it. Ed knows it. Everybody knows it here on Bucs Report. If you watch the evolution of sports talk television, I have never backed down from that prediction, and I've told Bucs fans, don't be scared of that prediction. Don't be scared of that expectation. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are winning the Super Bowl. They're going to be the only team in NFL history to do it in 2020. Book it.
All right,
Like
man.
that.
We're right on there. We'll see you soon.
All right, my friend. Thanks a lot. Let me go ahead and fire
Good one,
those
Alex.
cannons right there. Alex getting on. So, Ron, I got to start out with Tom Brady. I mean, 40 touchdowns, 43 total touchdowns. How much do you like this guy as a starting Buccaneer quarterback this year?
I love Brady. I mean, and I think the special thing about Brady, Pete, is that he elevates everyone's game around him, and I think he demands nothing less than the best.
Right.
And coming into this game, I think him, along with a lot of our top players, I don't think Brady even himself is going to allow any of these players to come into this game tonight with anything less than their best effort.
Right.
I think Brady, this is his 30th playoff game. I want to say.
I believe you're right about that. Yeah.
30th playoff
First time he's a wild card, though. Any concern about Washington's football team here?
I think maybe I've said before, Pete, you got to look at it like you can't underestimate any team. And I mean, we're in a different level of the season now. Everything is elevated. We're in the playoffs. So Washington has a good, pretty solid front four. They drafted well. They have been known to cause disruption on opposing offensive lines. I mean, you have Chase Young, you have a couple interior linemen that can really get after the quarterback. So I think our offensive line needs to become ready to play today. And like I said, I don't think any of our guys are coming into this game underestimating anyone, or at least I would hope not. But this team, you can't look past them.
No, you can't look past them. And of course, sub 500 teams, 2-0, so no concern with Brady's influence. And I actually think, let me ask you this, primetime players tonight that are going to step out or stand out, if you will, offensively and defensively. Actually, let's go ahead and go out to the phone line. We'll get those predictions from you. Welcome to the Evolution here, with yours truly, along with Ron, one of my favorite web heads here on the Sports Web. What's your name? Where are you calling from? I think he's gone, so I don't know what happened. All right, standout players offensively and defensively, because we're running down here. I hate to get you off, but we'll get you on the post-game show if you're still around.
Absolutely. The offensive players, I think I look for Antonio Brown, Chris Godwin to have a good game.
Okay.
Hopefully we'll establish the run too. Get the victim of volume.
Oh, you got to say it with a little bit more swag.
The
a little
victim
bit more.
of volume.
There you
Rojo
go, Ron.
involved in the
That's
game.
what I'm talking about, Ron.
Hopefully we'll
Way
see
to come strong to the mic.
Yes, sir. Hopefully we'll see some remnants of the running game, and we'll be able to use that to control the game.
Right.
Ball control. Defensively, I look for Shaq to really have a good game coming off of the protocol that he was under.
Sure.
I think he'll be ready to play. JPP, I think he'll get in there, cause some disruption. I look for our guys to come in, very excited, ready to play, ready to rumble.
All right, give me a prediction here. Tampa Bay versus the Washington football team, and then we'll get you out of here.
Buccaneers 34, Washington football team 17.
All right, good
My
stuff there.
prediction.
There you go, Ron. Once again, thanks for your service, my friend. Marine Devil Dog, hoorah. And we'll see what happens tonight. Thanks a lot for coming on the Evolution, all right?
Thanks, Pete.
Got to get
Go
Shane
Bucs.
on here. Come on, Shane. I got to get this guy on here, too, if he wants to come on. Come on, Shane. We got plenty of web heads tonight coming on. It's a frantic situation, my friend. How you doing?
How you doing, man?
Go ahead and
Great,
put
man.
those cans
Yes,
on there.
I'm doing.
Welcome to the Evolution here on Bucs Report. Let's talk about it with this team matchup tonight that I'm looking at. This Washington football team giving up 50 sacks in the season. Is this where you think this defense is really going to step out?
I think so. I think they're going to step out tonight. I think it's a proven game, a must-win game. I think Tampa Bay does come in, hot and aggressive from, the regular season. and I think they're going to go ahead and contest them. I think this is going to be a nice proven night for Tampa Bay. They go ahead and cruise. So
how you feeling about this? I know you follow this show. You're an avid caller. You're tuned in. I work with your wife. She's great, unbelievable person.
Yes.
You guys are both football fans. The Bills today.
Yes.
They
History maker.
survived. You still feel good about the Bills?
Yes, I do. I do. I feel good. It was tight right down the end with Phillip Rivers. I know Phillip Rivers never made it to the Super Bowl because I know he was hungry too. So it was both teams was both trying to chase. So, but at the end, the Bills went ahead and pulled it off. So it was great about that.
How do you feel about this Bucs team finally being in the playoffs? I guess they're your second favorite team.
Yes.
13 years. They exercised that curse. It's been a long drought.
Yes.
How do you feel about it?
I think Tampa Bay should be happy. Like I said, you know what I mean? They should be happy with Tom Brady coming down, Antonio Brown, the last two pieces coming in. So just being great, chasing history. Why not a veteran 20 years to, get the offensive going? And I think it's going to be all good for Tampa.
What's your biggest concern with this Tampa Bay team going into this game tonight?
I think just basically the defense. You know what I'm saying? The defense is, it's gave a little bit of points, but with Tom Brady, execution that on the offensive side, I think it should be all right, though. But I think now they should put it together, get this core together, get ready with Tom Brady as the, leader of the offense, and it'll be good. I got a great feeling about it.
All right, give me a prediction. Bucs versus this Washington football team. Why are the Bucs going to win?
They're going to win because of their offense. They got leadership, veteran leadership, Bruce Arians and Tom Brady. I don't want to hear all about that. They're fine. They know how they're playoff ready, and I think they're going to be good to go. So,
score tonight.
31-17 Tampa Bay.
I like it. There you go. Shane Young, one of the many web heads here. Definitely don't be a stranger. Hang out for the post game. We'll get you on afterwards. All right.
Thank you, Mr. Blake. I appreciate it.
All right.
Man.
Thank you. Appreciate you. There we go. I'll tell you what, we'll get Blake Anthony back on here. Let's go ahead and read these comments really quick because we're running out of time here on the Sports Web. I told you, if you're a Bucs fan out here, would you shut up and get on camera? Stop talking off of camera. Blake Anthony of Sports Talk 49. Let's read these comments, and then we'll go to your breakdown really quick here because I want to make sure we read these comments right now. Let's see. Fire the cannons for your favorite troll. I shall. Absolutely. Harry Bird, your Bears better pull their weight. Ben says, laugh out loud, I meant the victim of volume. Say it again.
You said victim of volume?
Would you stop and go ahead and say it the right way?
Victim of volume.
I like it. There you go. Good stuff. All right. Johnny Dean says 23-13. Rams are up now. They're up 30-20.
Yeah, you behind, Johnny.
Former Buccaneer kicker Matt Gay is 100% for the Rams.
Only in our stadium.
Yep. I don't want to jinx this, but I really have a good feeling about Tampa. Misador, so no 50 burger prediction tonight.
Ooh.
Carl says that the Rams win, it's war. Bears tomorrow. Misador, Bears matchup well against the Taints. 34-17, Misador. Donald is back. Harold says Josh Allen almost calls the Bills game with the sack fumble. Don't get that decision. I feel like all the ups and downs we face early on in the season are going to make us ready for the playoffs. It's ours to lose. Ben Parrish says, I feel something special cooking with our Bucs. It's our time. Let me go ahead and fire those cannons for that. Let's go, Bucs from Fresno, California, whether it's from California, Okinawa, Japan, which was where Ron was stationed at, Alaska, all over the world, Pennsylvania, New York. It's a worldwide thing. Even Australia and the UK. It's the Sports Web, the evolution of sports talk television. Is it a radio show? Is it a TV show? It's both. And it's live here on Bucs Report exclusively almost every night. And, of course, for your game time experience right before and after the game. 31-6 Tampa Bay. Johnny Dean says, from the gridiron to Canton, Bucs wide receiver Mike Evans becomes the first player in NFL history to begin his career with 7 consecutive seasons of 1,000 receiving yards. We collected the jersey and gloves worn by Evans in the Bucs Week 17 victory. Already a Hall of Famer, shoe-in. You got to put him in the Hall of Fame with that record alone, right?
No doubt.
Okay. All right. And guys, if you guys want to get behind me here, if you all want to get behind me, we can do that because we're all a part of this here on Bucs Report. Will you shut up and be quiet? I didn't tell you to talk. Laugh out loud, Mr. Ed. Johnny says Rams just pretty much sealed it up. Misador kind of looks like Peter Griffin. You better stop it right now. I'm going to kill you. 30-13 Rams now, 4:46 left in the game. Again, we updated that 30-20. Johnny G and I just walked out of work, sick, laugh out loud. Let's go. Marcus says 6:05, rep them Bucs, absolutely. Anwar, 34-14 Bucs, fire those cannons, Peter, as we shout. Shane in the shot, Ed in the shot, Ron in the shot, Rick Hughes in the shot, I'm in the shot. Get me a shot.
Let's take a shot.
Let's take a shot, exactly. Pete Carroll might get fired after this game. You got Richard Rayborn, 20-12 Bucs and 47-20 for the Bucs here. Got to ask you here really quick. I like that score, and I'll tell you why he put that score down there. John Lynch and Ronde Barber being finalists for the Hall of Fame. Will you shut up back there? Trying to do a live show. John Lynch and Ronde Barber being finalists for the Hall of Fame. Your thoughts on that?
Oh, definitely. I said Barber needs to get it along with the accolade that he had with the sacks and plus, all the interceptions and game-sealing plays he made. I said John Lynch would be tough because the safety position is very hard to mark up, and it'll be tough for them to just put him in on just game-breaking plays, which he made a lot of, and he's against a lot of other safeties, Pro Bowl safeties and All-American safeties that played in the time that he played. But Barber is definitely a shoe-in my opinion. I think Lynch might get in this one, if not in the next one.
Absolutely. All right, really quick here. We're going to go to your breakdown of Tristan Wirfs and Chase Young. Go ahead and preview this for the web heads out there.
Of course, they didn't play in the pros. They played in college. And Tristan Wirfs absolutely dominated Chase Young in college. He made 0 plays in that game. Chase Young was trying to get involved in the play, and then a young Tristan Wirfs absolutely denied him any happiness.
All right, here we go with my perspective from Blake Anthony at Sports Talk 49 on the evolution of Sports Talk Television. We'll come back with our predictions as we're running out of time. Here we go.
Here's a little interest in my perspective. Short, sweet, and to the point. Chase Young and Tristan Wirfs have met before. Not in the NFL, but in college, 2017, both were freshmen. It's not much of a tape. It's a couple clips. But Tristan Wirfs pretty much is more of an aggressor than Chase Young in these tapes. Chase Young pretty much didn't want nothing to do with Tristan Wirfs in most of these clips, as you'll see. Maybe you guys see it different. Check it out. Let me know in the comments section. Enjoy. I'm going to give you guys at least a little bit of commentary on this. So you see that Iowa is in I formation. And you see the matchup here, Tristan Wirfs versus Chase Young. Ohio State has a stunt called on this particular play. Chase Young steps down inside. Tristan Wirfs does what he's supposed to do, is move up to the next level since Chase Young takes himself out of the play and goes upfield and looks for a linebacker to block. Linebackers shoot pretty good on this, and they get a nice stuffing at the line of scrimmage for a no gain. Here's a good one here. Straight down block. Tristan Wirfs beats Chase Young to the spot. Chase Young turns his shoulder on him and doesn't really want any contact to do with him. Tristan Wirfs absolutely manhandles Chase Young, lifts him off the ground and keeps him out of the play while they run for a big gain. This right here is another run to the left. Tristan Wirfs cuts off Chase Young, and he has no chance to get involved in this play at all. And it's a short game by the Iowa. Again, another inside handoff to the left side. Tristan Wirfs beats Chase Young to the spot again, down steps inside and cuts off Chase Young. Chase Young, again, has no shot at getting involved in the play, and everybody's to the ball but him. Last chance for Chase Young to get some reps in this game that's getting blown out 48-24. Wirfs again cuts off Young. Young starts to get frustrated. He has not got any sniff of making a play on any of these plays because Wirfs has done an outstanding job cutting him off and not letting him get any impact in this game while his team rolls in the end zone for another touchdown.
All right, welcome back to the evolution of Sports Talk Television. It's the Sports Web live at the Deck Bar and Grill in Isla del Sol. As you can hear it right now, everybody getting pumped up for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Washington football team. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along, of course, with Mr. Blake Anthony at Sports Talk 49. Can we get a Tampa Bay chant here in the background? Can we get it? Can we get it? I love this atmosphere. Yes, yes. Listen to them. Listen to them.
Are you not entertained?
Are you
not entertained?
I'm telling you. I don't know who that guy is right there. So go ahead. Your prediction on this game here, Washington football team and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Who wins and why?
I got 30-14 Bucs win.
30-14 Bucs win over the Washington football team. I actually think it's going to be 31-13.
Hey, this ain't Price is Right.
They may start off a little bit slow here, but I don't necessarily think so. I think the Bucs come out. I think the Washington football team may keep it close, but the Bucs run away with it. 31-13 over the Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay over the Washington football team. 31-13. Let's see if there's any more comments. There are no more comments here. Let's see if we get Rick Hughes in here. Rick, really quick, what was your prediction on the Bucs game?
37-16.
37-16 right there. Of course, we got everybody's scores there. So that's pretty much it from here. I think we're gonna let you guys go. Yes, absolutely. For Blake Anthony at Sports Talk 49, for Rick Hughes from the Cheap Seats, What's Cooking in the South, I'm your host, Peter Blake. Enjoy the game.
All right, go Bucs!
Bring your passion, bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. Will you shut up and be quiet?
Years since this club been 105. Well, it's just the beginning. It's just the beginning.
First time in 13 years, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are headed to the NFL playoffs.
Players running. Have your man back. I got your back. You feel? I take the ground for you. I got your back. I got your back on that neck. Let's go. Hey, dude, let's get started, man. We don't wait. Turn up. And now. And everybody, man, just have your brothers back, man. Because that's what we playing for. All right? Hey. Man, your brothers on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Next up, playoffs, baby. We coming.
Tom Brady, I'm coming. I want Tom. Six, folks. All right, here we go. Hit it. Wait a minute.
Go to touchdown, Tampa Bay. Touchdown, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Let me hear the gun. Let me hear the cannon. Come on.
This play, a lot going on. We'll listen to the call. There's a lot going on.
No, it's Super Bowl or bust. That's the goal every year.
Guess who's back?